Close to home, Livingston Regional Hospital.
Protecting the newest Overton County residents. Livingston Regional, named one of the state's best award winners for its work at reducing infant mortality. The BEST Award focuses on the importance of breastfeeding, early elective delivery reduction, and safe sleep for Tennessee babies.
Quality care, close to home, Livingston Regional Hospital.
Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back into Clark Range High School tonight, where the Livingston Academy Lady Wildcats and Wildcats get ready to play for a second time this evening here at Clark Range. The Livingston team's got a couple of big wins earlier with the Livingston Academy Wildcats getting the day started at around noon this afternoon as they beat Whitwell by a final score of 78-43 to get the win. Then the Lady Wildcats come back in the next game and beat Hendersonville 62-52 to get the win. Now we move to the girls matchup here with the Livingston Academy Lady Wildcats taking on the Clark Range Lady Buffaloes. Always good to get to come up here on the mountain and get to talk to the legend, Coach Lamar Rogers, as everybody seems to know that he is. I saw him getting a play from Coach Trey Sanders from Smith County a minute ago. I told Coach Sanders, I said, you need to document this somehow, that he's picking up one of your plays there so that everybody will know that he got it from you. And Coach Sanders agreed with me entirely, because if you can get him to take one of your plays, you're doing pretty good. Coach Rogers, 1,290 wins in his career here at Clark Range, 8 state championships, 3-time state runner-up, 26 state tournament appearances. You can stack that up with anybody in the country. He's the number 2 winningest coach in the United States of America, and that 1,290 is number 1 in the state of Tennessee. He's a Hall of Famer in Tennessee, and so anytime you come in here, you're in the tall cotton when you're playing against Coach Lamar Rogers, because they're always very talented and always very good up here at Clark Range High School. And they are 1-1 on this season. They beat Macon County to get things started just a little bit ago, and then also lost to Cannon County in a game played over in Macon County. So they are 1-1 on the season, though, as the Lady Buffaloes will be dressed in the home white. They will be the home team on the scoreboard, of course. Coach Rogers assisted by Kara Meadows. She graduated not long ago. I think I messed up on the dates on Kelly Reed, talking about her in the previous game. She was on that 2009 state championship team. Sometimes as you get older, those seasons run together. But Kelly Reed, the Hendersonville coach, she played on the 2009 team that went 39-0. As I thought it was 2004, it was 09 when they went 39-0. To win one of their 8 state championships here at Clark Range. As we get ready to get this one underway, the Livingston Academy Lady Wildcats are without Coach Leslie Riddle. She's dealing with a family emergency. Again, we hope everything is well with the situation that she is working with, and hope everything goes good, and hope that Coach Riddle gets to return very soon for the Lady Wildcats. So the acting head coach today, Billy Sales, he's assisted by Abby Jolly and Elizabeth Maxwell. And they will start like this. They'll go with number 11, Hallie Ledbetter, number 12, Aaliyah Melton, number 14, Keely Mullins, number 22, Mally Jean Coleman, and number 24, Ellie Butler. The starting 5 for the Lady Wildcats of Livingston, dressed in the road blue, the white numbers, the gold trim on the basketball uniforms. Again, number 11, Hallie Ledbetter, number 12, Aaliyah Melton, number 14, Keely Mullins, number 22, Mally Jean Coleman, and number 24, Ellie Butler, the starting 5 for Livingston Academy. Now for Clark Range, under head coach Lamar Rogers, assistant coach Kara Meadows, they'll start number 1, Addie Stowers, number 12, Chloe Rogers, that's Coach Rogers' granddaughter that is starting for the Lady Buffaloes. Number 20, Maddie Bush, number 32, Lauren Schote, and number 35, Casey Sales, the starting 5 for the Lady Buffaloes, dressed in the home white, the blue numbers, the gold trim on the basketball uniforms. Again, number 1, Addie Stowers, number 12, Chloe Rogers, number 20, Maddie Bush, number 32, Lauren Schote, and number 35, Casey Sales, the starting 5 for the Lady Buffaloes. Let's thank our sponsors for making tonight's broadcast possible. It will be W&O Construction Company, Cornicello Italian Restaurant, Farmers Insurance, Rick Savage, Maynard's Automotive, Hall Funeral Home, Bullseye Security, Exit Realty, Livingston Dairy Queen, Midstate Construction, Physical Medicine Center of the Cumberlands, Jerry's IGA, Highway Tire, Puckett's Furniture and Appliances, Milton Rains and Family, Livingston Regional Hospital, Lucky Red Stables, Oakley Equipment Rental, Wayne's Grill, Wascon Incorporated, Willow Grove Marina, Livingston Family Healthcare, Gary Maxwell Insurance, and I knew they'd get me before I got through. They turned the house lights down and get ready to introduce the starting lineup here at Clark Range, as they always do. I thought I'd get through that list before they did, but They got me right toward the end of it. We'll finish up our sponsors right after this as the starters being introduced to the crowd here at Clark Range. As they, as we said, wearing the home white. They are playing their first of 2 games today. They'll play this one, then we'll have a boys game between Livingston Academy and Clark Range. Then the final game of the day here at this Clark Range Hall of Fame play day will be Clark Range playing against Smith County here this evening. That one's scheduled to begin about 7:30. It may get started a little earlier than that as the starters introduced to the crowd. They're in the spotlight here on the floor at Clark Range. Continuing now with our sponsors, Puckett's Family Dentistry, Overton County News, R&M Family Pharmacy, E.B. Gray Jewelry, and First Church of Livingston. The sponsors here on Overton Events that make these broadcasts possible. If you enjoy our coverage here on Overton Events, we ask you to go to our YouTube page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and help us grow the channel as we continue to try to bring you more of these events here on Overton Events. We hope you enjoy our coverage, and we're getting ready for this one. Always a good one when these two get together, Livingston Academy and Clark Range. It'll be Aaliyah Melton stepping in to jump for Livingston. She'll jump against Lauren Schote for Clark Range. Lead official steps in, ball in the air, tap going to be controlled by Livingston. Coleman with it in the backcourt. Coleman now across the timeline. Clark Range opens 2-3. Melton, right baseline to Ledbetter. Ledbetter now to Butler. Butler now to Coleman. Coleman at the half-court circle to set the offense. Coleman dribbling there for the Lady Wildcats. Don't see the 2-3 too often anymore. Mullins open on the left wing. Her 3 is no good. Long rebound. Can Ledbetter get to it before it gets out of bounds? Can't see if she did or not, but it went off of Clark Range, the official says, and it will go to Livingston Academy, or will stay with Livingston Academy, as Coleman will step out to throw in for the Lady Wildcats. Goes inbounds Mullins. Mullins between the circles. Picks up the dribble now at the top of this 2-3 zone. They go right side now to Melton. Melton, short corner, Ledbetter. Jumper from 16 is no good. Rebound taken away by Mullins. Then she tries to get the pass inside to Butler off her hands, but rolls right to Aaliyah Melton. Livingston a chance to reset and try again. Coleman gained the play call from acting head coach Billy Sales here this afternoon. Coleman dribbling there at the half-court circle. Works the ball on the right wing. Now to Butler, and she's going to be held and fouled by Clark Range. Picking up the foul, number 32, Lauren Schote. Picking up her first, team foul number 1 here in the first half against the Lady Buffaloes. So Livingston to play the ball in. Right side on the sideline. As pass deflected away and knocked right back out of bounds. Touch last by Clark Range once again. So again, Livingston to throw in. As they bring 2 guards up top against this 2-3. Butler in the left corner, down low. Ledbetter tried to get to her in the double team. Ball knocked away and out of bounds again by Clark Range. Livingston's had the basketball for 1 minute and 14 seconds so far. They got the opening tip, and we've been on this end ever since. As Coleman to play the ball in to Butler. Butler between the circles. Left side, Coleman. Coleman in the corner now to Mullins. Mullins back to Coleman to set the offense. Coleman dribbling there at the half-court circle. Working against the zone by Clark Range. Coleman dribbles with the left hand, works her way inside. Left corner, Butler. Ellie's 3 in the air. That's bouncing no good. Rebound taken away by Clark Range. Schote there to clear it. Schote will bring it front court now. With the quick drive, the left-hand layup, no good by Maddie Bush. Rebound taken away by Livingston. Coleman now to bring it front court. Coleman across the timeline. So again, Livingston will make Clark Range play defense here in this first half in this 2-3 zone. Coleman out top now to Mullins. Mullins back to Coleman. They've moved Aaliyah Melton up to the high post against this 1-3-1. They get the ball to her at the elbow. Jumper from 14. Rims no good. Rebound fought for inside. Knocked down to bounds by Ledbetter. Touch last by the Lady Wildcats. It will go to the Lady Buffaloes as Bush, stepping out to throw in, will play the ball in to Rogers. Right back to Bush. Bush now will bring it front court. Working the ball out top. Right side, Rogers. Rogers back up top now. That is Rogers with the ball. That wasn't Rogers over there. That's 32 instead of 12. Sales with it. Right wing now, Stowers. Stowers back up top to Bush to set the offense. High post they go to Sales. Sales right side. Or that is I'll get these right in a minute. With the basketball is Rogers. Rogers now to Sales. Casey Sales wears 35. That is Bush with it at the half-court stripe. Bush now to set the offense. Brings Stowers out in three-point range. Stowers dribbling up top, looks to drive, backs it back out now to Sales. Sales works her way to the three-point arc with the right-hand dribble. Now hands off to Schote. Schote now to Stowers, back to Schote, top of the key. Now Bush to set the offense. Both teams working hard defensively here in this first half as Bush will set up Livingston in that matchup zone. They're 1-2-2. Stowers in the corner now to Sales. Sales steps around the Stowers screen with the left-hand dribble, and a timeout going to be called by Clark Range. They'll take it with 4:39 to play in the first quarter. They'll take a 30 right here. No score between Livingston Academy and Clark Range. Again, we invite you to go to our YouTube page, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Overton Events. It will help us grow our channel, and every subscriber we get continues to help us grow, and that's what we are trying to do, just bringing local events to you here on Overton Events. We've got grade school basketball coming up next week, more high school basketball next week. Just a few weeks away from the Livingston-Overton County Christmas Parade on December the 10th. That one begins at 3 o'clock. We'll be on probably around 3:45, 3:30, 3:45, somewhere around there with our coverage from Overton Events of the Livingston-Overton County Christmas Parade. Chloe Rogers stepping out to throw in for the Lady Buffaloes. Rogers goes inbounds to Bush. Livingston looks to trap. Then they throw it away. Butler with the steal to Coleman. Coleman at the right elbow will dribble back out for the Lady Wildcats. Coleman working there at the half-court stripe. Coleman dribbling up top. Clark Range settles back in that 2-3. To make Livingston shoot it outside. Ledbetter now to Butler. Butler to the right elbow. Goes left side Mullins. Mullins steps into the paint. The jumper good. Keely Mullins. Mullins' little ball fake got her inside the lane. Might have got away with the walk, but it doesn't matter. She knocks down the two, and Livingston jumps in front 2-0 to get this one started. Bush in the front court. Bush goes right wing to Rogers. Rogers back in the corner to Bush now. On the right side, Bush will drive, gets underneath, lob out top Stowers. Stowers left side Sales. Her three in the air is good. Casey Sales. Sales knocks down the triple. Clark Range has their first lead at 3-2. Mullins in the front court to Coleman. Coleman between the circles. Right side they go to Butler. Butler back to Coleman. Coleman backs it back out to set the offense. Coleman now working there for the Lady Wildcats. Goes right side to Butler. Butler high post Melton. Melton left wing Mullins. Quickly in the corner. Ledbetter three by Halley is bouncing no good. Rebound taken away by Sales for Clark Range. Sales now to Bush to bring it up floor. Bush out top. Quick move with the right hand. It will roll it over to Rogers. Right side. The three by Schote is no good. Rebound Butler for Livingston. Then she's going to be pushed down by Bush, and a foul going to be called on Maddie Bush. Bush will pick up her first, team second here in the first half. So it'll be Livingston to play the ball in on the inline as they'll go inbounds to Coleman. Clark Range extending the defense a little bit there. 1-2-2, three-quarter court. Coleman over the top of it. Mullins, left elbow jump shot by Keeley is good. Keeley Mullins has all four of Livingston's points. The Lady Wildcats move back in front by one at 4-3. Bush now will bring it front court for the Lady Buffaloes. Already down to 2:45 to play in this first quarter. Stowers on the left side. Stowers looks to drive. In the corner now to Sales. Schote will swing it now to Bush. Bush will drive. Floater in the lane. Banking no good. Rebound Ledbetter for Livingston. Ledbetter will drop it off now to Coleman. Boy, one thing about it, Clark Range tries to tie you up or tries to strip you of the basketball on every rebound and every possession that they can get their hands on. Mullins, pass knocked right back at her and out of bounds as Schote will knock that one out of bounds. Touch last by Clark Range. Livingston will play it in left side front court. Inbounds goes to Coleman from Butler. Coleman dribbles across the timeline. Clark Range back in that 2-3. They'll bring Ledbetter to the high post now at the free throw line. To Melton. Now tried to go down low to Ledbetter. Good anticipation by, I think that was Schote that knocked it away. Stowers driving the other way. He's going to draw a foul from Livingston. She'll get to the free throw line to shoot two. Stowers going quickly down the floor. Will draw the foul from the Lady Wildcats. It's going to go on Aaliyah Melton. Melton will pick up her first. first in the first half against Livingston. Addie Stowers at the line shooting 2, and the first one is good. Stowers ties the game at 4 apiece, a chance to move Clark Range back in front by 1. Second free throw coming up from Stowers. Dribbling the basketball there. Puts this one on the way and knocks it down. So Stowers makes them both. Clark Range back in front by 1, 5-4. Coleman brings it front court for the Lady Wildcats. Coleman. Long pass left side to Mullins. Back to Coleman now at the half-court stripe. Coleman working there for Livingston. 1:40 to play first quarter. With Clark Range leading 5-4. Mullins inside. They swing the pass in the corner. The jumper is no good. The rebound tapped up by Mullins. It's loose. Sales and Mullins will dive on the floor after it, and the arrow is going to give it to Clark Range. Corner jump shot by Ledbetter, no good, and now the arrow gives it to the Lady Buffalo, so a throw in for Livingston. The foul will go on Maddie Bush, picking up her second. Team's 5th here in the first half. They say it is a shooting foul, so Butler to the line. First one's good. Ellie Butler with her first point, coming off a 24-point effort earlier today against Whitwell. I've got 5 fouls on Clark Range. They've got 4 on the board. Second free throw by Butler, good again. Butler makes them both, and Livingston extends the lead back to 4 at 14-10. Bush now will bring it front court. Working the ball top of the key against the Livingston matchup zone, back in that zone. To Sales on the left side. Sales dribbling between the circles. Sales goes left wing, Stowers. Stowers will take the 3. It's no good. Rebound on the floor. Hargis has it taken away by Bush. Then Coleman going to tie up Bush. And the arrow is going to give it to Livingston Academy. Lady Wildcats will keep possession here as they'll play it in on the end line with Mullins stepping out to throw in. Mullins plays it inbounds to Coleman. Coleman now to bring it front court for the Lady Wildcats. Coleman across the timeline working right here at the half-court circles, or at the half-court stripe. She's getting very close to it. Left side now to Hargis. Hargis inside. Butler came to the block. Ellie's jumper in the lane. Good. Ellie Butler. Butler's first field goal coming with 4:28 to play in the first half, and Clark Range wants a timeout. We'll take it with them. We'll tell you with timeout your score. 4:25 to play first half. Livingston 16, Clark Range 10. We'll take a moment to thank our sponsors here on Overton Events. Livingston Regional Hospital, Lucky Red Stables, Oakley Equipment Rental, Wayne's Grill, Wascon Incorporated, Willow Grove Marina, Livingston Family Healthcare, Gary Maxwell Insurance, Puckett's Family Dentistry, Overton County News, R&M Family Pharmacy, E.B. Gray Jewelry, First Church, W&O Construction, Cornicello Italian Restaurant, Farmers Insurance, Rick Savage, Maynard's Automotive, Hall Funeral Home, Bullseye Security, Exit Rocky Top Realty, Livingston Dairy Queen, Midstate Construction, Physical Medicine Center of the Cumberlands, Jerry's IGA, Highway Tire, Puckett's Furniture and Appliances, and Milton Rains and Family. Clark Range plays the ball in after the timeout. Maddie Bush to bring it up floor on the dribble to Stowers on the left wing. Stowers in the corner now to Sales. Back to Stowers. Right side Rogers. In the corner Napier. Napier down to Bush posting up on the right block. Finds Sales. Sales left wing Stowers. Her 3 in the air is good. Addie Stowers. Stowers has her second 3. She's got 8 points to lead all scorers, and Clark Range has cut the lead to 3 now. It's 16-13. Coleman has it knocked away. Stolen by Napier. Napier now to Rogers. Rogers to Bush. Bush, little hesitation dribble, gets her to the baseline. Jumper's no good, but Hargis will foul her. And it will put Maddie Bush on the free throw line to shoot 2 shots. And she goes there with 3:47 to play in the second quarter, halfway through the second quarter, with Livingston leading 16-13. Bush at the line for the first time. Clark Range 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Dribbling the basketball there. Puts this one on the way and knocks it down. So Bush with her first point cuts the lead down to 2 as Livingston. It's Aaliyah Melton back in the ball game. Actually, no, they've got, can't see the number over there. Clark Range gets number 50. Caitlin Pinnell on the floor for the first time. Second free throw by Bush is no good. Rebound Melton for Livingston. Then that's number 23 checking in for the Lady Leon as Melton was making that pass. Daly got her feet tangled up with a Clark Range player, and she was falling down. The pass went out of bounds, so the turnover will give it back to Clark Range. They play it in to Schote back in there. Now to Rogers. Rogers dribbling up top. That's not 50, that's 55 out there for Clark Range. Katie Hopkins. Left side, Rogers with it. Rogers holding the ball high above her head. 16-14. Livingston in front with 3:25 to play first half. Right side, Bush. Bush will drive. Up top they go to Schote. Deep three out top is Remming, no good. Hopkins with the rebound. Back up and in with the left hand. Katie Hopkins with the offensive rebound and putback has her first two. Daly quickly in the front court for Livingston. Now to Melton. We're all tied at 16 with 3 minutes to play in the first half. Ledbetter out top to Daly on the right wing. Daly dribbling with the left hand. Walk with the basketball. Turnover by Livingston. Going to give it right back to Clark Range as it'll be Rogers stepping out to throw in the backcourt. And she'll play the ball in to Bush. Bush now to bring it across the timeline, working the ball front court on the dribble. Bush will drive with the right hand on the wing now to Schote. Schote down low, Hopkins. Hopkins drop step on the baseline, and she's going to be pushed and fouled by Mullins. Keely Mullins will pick up her first. Team's third here in the first half. So 3 away from putting Clark Range on the line. Livingston's been called for 5. That's number 4 on Livingston. Inbounds goes to Bush. Bush to Rogers stepping inbounds, and they'll call her for the travel. Took an extra step. Turnover by Clark Range. We'll give it right back to Livingston. Melton to throw in on the baseline with 2:42 to play first half in a 16-16 tie. Daly across the timeline for Livingston. Daly right side to Hargis. Back to Daly up top. Daly, pass taken away. Stolen by Schote. Schote breakaway to the rim. Layup no good. Rebound fought for inside. Mullins comes away with it. Numbers coming the other way. Mullins will keep it to Ledbetter on the wing. Ledbetter now working the basketball on the dribble. Hallie will drive, and as she goes, she's going to be fouled by Bush for Clark Range, and that's number 3. Maddie Bush will be called for her third. That's a big foul right there. This will get Hallie Ledbetter to the free throw line to shoot 2. As she steps up there with 2:19 to play in the first half. Free throw by Ledbetter is no good. Still a chance to put Livingston in front as Sales comes back in. Coming in for the first time is number 42, Peyton Manis. Checking in for Clark Range. Livingston gets Bailey Allred in for the first time. Mally Jean Coleman coming back in. Second free throw from Ledbetter. Made that one. Hallie makes 1 out of 2. She's got her first point of this game and extends and moves Livingston in front by 1, 17-16. Bush still out there with the 3 fouls. Bush at the half-court circle. I don't know if they didn't get that to Coach Rogers or what, but she's still out there. Stowers up top. Left side, Sales. Sales dribbles around the Stowers screen with the right-hand dribble. Right side, they go to Bush. Bush way out in three-point range for the Lady Buffaloes. Will set the offense. Bush hands off now to Sales. Sales working against the Livingston man-to-man. Stowers now to Bush. Bush around the screen. Ledbetter comes in and steals it on the double team. Ledbetter now to Coleman. Coleman right side, Mullins to Coleman. Coleman now to set the offense for Livingston as we're down to 1.5 minutes to play in the first half here at Clark Range. Coleman at the half-court circle. Coleman now to Allred. Allred in the corner, they go to Mullins. Mullins back to Allred. Now Coleman with it. Extending this 2-3 zone a little bit. Ledbetter right side. They try to go down low to Melton, too tall for her to get to on the pass from Mullins, and the turnover will go to Clark Range. Bush in the front court. Bush, top of the key 3 is Remming, no good. Ledbetter with the rebound for Livingston. Ledbetter now to Coleman. So we move inside 1 minute to play in the first half. Coleman across the timeline. Coleman works it left side on the dribble. Coleman now for the Lady Wildcats. Works it on the right wing. They double team. Ball knocked free. It's loose on the floor. And still loose, rolling out of bounds off Clark Range. Well, they let them scramble for it a long time there, and the basketball going to stay with Livingston Academy. Before it does, though, they're going to get some sweat off the floor. Actually, a player slow to get up is Maddie Bush. We'll get out of there now with the 3 fouls. So Clark Range fortunate that she didn't pick up her 4th in that 1.5 minutes plus that she played with the 3. Inbounds goes to Coleman with 45 seconds to play in the half. Coleman, left side Mullins. Mullins, high post to Melton, not all red. All red. Back out top to Coleman, left side Mullins. Mullins pulls up the left elbow. Jump shot by Keeley's no good. Hopkins with the rebound, and she's going to be fouled by Livingston. Foul going to go on the Lady Wildcats. It'll be Hallie Ledbetter picking up her second. Team's fifth here in the first half. As Ellie Butler going to come back in. That's 3 on Ledbetter. That's where I missed one. Hallie Ledbetter's got 3. Didn't see that as Butler comes in to replace Ledbetter with the 3 fouls. 30 seconds to play in the first half. Livingston leading 17-16. Stowers into the front court. Stowers there at the half-court circle. Dribbling top of the key. Goes right side now to Sales as they want the last shot of the first half. Sales with the left-hand dribble. Works it left side now to Rogers with 10 seconds. Rogers. They back out of the double team. Rogers dribbling up top. Coleman knocked it away. Ball is loose. Mally Jean scrambling for it. We'll get to it. Coleman layup at the buzzer. Yes, sir! Mally Jean Coleman got the steal and the finish. She's got 7, and the Lady Wildcats lead it at halftime by 3. Or do we have a little time put on? Was she fouled? Will she get a shot here? She's got a free throw coming. No, there's no foul. It is halftime. The basket's good by Mally Jean Coleman. She thought she was going to get the and one, but the official says no, and we are at halftime. At halftime, it is Livingston Academy 19, Clark Range 16. We'll be back for the scoring and the second half from here at Clark Range High School in just a moment. Halftime here at Clark Range with Livingston leading the homestanding Lady Buffaloes of Clark Range by a score of 19-16 at halftime. At the end of the first quarter, Livingston led 6-5. They outscored Clark Range 13-11 in that second quarter to extend the lead to 3 points at 19-16. Let's check the scoring in the first half for the Lady Buffaloes as they're being led by Addie Stowers. 8 points at halftime for Stowers, including 2 of 2 from the free throw line. She's made 2 3-point field goals. 5 points at halftime for Casey Sales. She's made 1 3-point field goal, was 0 of 1 from the free throw line. 1 point in the first half for Maddie Bush as she went 1 of 2 from the free throw line in the first half. As a team, Clark Range got to the free throw line 5 times. They made 3 of 5 from the free throw line. Lady Buffaloes have made 3 3-point field goals, so they only have 1 2-point field goal in the game. 9 points off of threes, 3 points off of free throws, and then a 2-point field goal to give them their total of 16. Now for Livingston, Lady Wildcats being led by Mally Jean Coleman. 7 points in the first half for Coleman as she was 1 of 1 from the free throw line. Huge steal at the end there to get the steal and the finish right as the horn sounded to give Livingston the 3-point lead going into the locker room. 4 points at halftime for Keely Mullins. 4 in the first half for Ellie Butler. Butler was 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 3 points at halftime for Aaliyah Melton. She was 1 of 2 from the free throw line. And 1 point in the first half for Hallie Ledbetter, as Ledbetter was 1 of 2 from the free throw line in the first half. As a team, Livingston got to the line 7 times. They made 5 of 7 from the free throw line. Lady Wildcats have not converted on a 3-point field goal yet, and they haven't shot many of them, but they haven't hit a 3-pointer yet in this contest. Fouls for Livingston, they've got Hallie Ledbetter with 3. 1 apiece on Tessa Hargis, Aaliyah Melton, and Keely Mullins. Clark Range, they've got Maddie Bush with 3. Lauren Schode has 2. And 1 on Casey Sales in the first half for Clark Range to give them their total of 6 fouls in the first half. Livingston called for 6 fouls in the first half. So a pretty clean played first half between two very solid defensive teams as we get ready to get this second half underway. Basketball will belong to Clark Range. We'll switch ends, and the Lady Buffaloes will be going to the exit door end here at Clark Range that takes you outside. Both ends have exit doors, but the ones that Clark Range is going toward will take you right outside. And Livingston will be moving to the entryway doors here at Clark Range High School. Livingston next will play on Tuesday when they travel up to Knoxville in a tournament up at Knox Farragut. For the girls, Livingston going to send Melton, Mullins, Butler, Coleman, and Ledbetter back on the floor to start the second half. Clark Range sends Schote, also Sales, Rogers, Bush, and Stowers for the Lady Buffaloes. Same 10 that started the game. Start the second half here in Clark Range. Happy to have you with us as Chloe Rogers stepping out to throw in for the Lady Buffaloes. Rogers will play it in to Bush to bring the ball front court. Bush now across the timeline, working there at the half-court circle. Bush will go right side to Sales, back to Schote. Schote in the corner now to Bush on the wing. Bush up top now to Schote. 5-out offense here by Clark Range. Motion offense by the Lady Buffaloes against this Livingston man-to-man. Bush right side to Sales. Sales looks to drive, cut off on the baseline. Now they look to double team. Sales able to get the ball over to Schote, who brings it back out to Bush. They overload this side, just keeping the ball over here with Sales dribbling on the near side. Sales now to Bush. Bush will drive, and Mullins reached in, almost tied her up. Gets the ball to Sales. Sales floater in the lane's no good. Mullins with the rebound for Livingston. Mullins now to Coleman to bring it front court. Coleman, long pass to Butler ahead. Butler will drive, gets in the lane, finds Mullins spotted on the left wing for 3. Yes, sir! Keely Mullins knocks down the triple. She's got the first 3 of the game for Livingston and has 7 points, and the Lady Wildcats take a 6-point lead, 22-16. Bush in the front court for Clark Range. Bush at the half-court circle. Dribbling there for the Lady Wildcats. Goes left side now to Schote. Schote to Stowers, cutting high post. Left elbow jumper's no good. Rebound Melton for Livingston. Now to Coleman. Coleman, long pass ahead to Butler. Butler back to Coleman to set the offense against this 2-3. Boy, you got to be patient against this Clark Range defense. Coleman hands off Melton up top, and it's taken away by Sales. Sales quickly in the front court. Going to slow it down, though, and set the offense. Bush in the corner. They go for the 3 ball, which is no good by Rogers. Rebound Sales back up in the lane. No good. Rebound Ledbetter for Livingston. Ledbetter now to Coleman. Coleman to bring it up floor for the Lady Wildcats. Long pass to Butler. Butler will drive. The layup inside is rolling. No good, but Bush has just picked up number 4. She's got a chance at 2 free throws, and Maddie Bush will pick up her 4th. She picks up number 4 with 6:05 to play in the third, and this will put Ellie Butler on the free throw line to shoot 2. First free throw by Butler is good. Ellie 1 in the quarter. She's got 5 in the game. Clark Range bringing 3 new players in as Katie Hopkins returns. Ashton Napier comes back in, and Peyton Manis comes back in. Staying out there is Rogers and Schote. Second free throw by Butler, good again. She's 4 of 4 from the free throw line, has 6 points on the night. Livingston as a team is 7 of 9 from the free throw line, and they lead by 8 now. Their biggest lead at 24-16 with 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. Schote with it. Top of the key. Works the ball right side. As they get it on the right wing, right in that corner where I can't see. Schote works it out top. Now we'll pick up the dribble to Hopkins. Hopkins back to Schote. Schote out top to Rogers in this motion offense. Little flex type offense here for Coach Rogers. Left side they go to Schote. Schote looks down low. Good job by Melton getting in front, but they got the pass through and got the layup by Manis. Peyton Manis gets free inside to lay it up and in for her first 2. First 2 of the second half for Clark Range coming at the 5:20 mark of the third quarter. Mullins on the left wing. Mullins spins back to her left hand. Mullins picks up the dribble, needs help. Coleman coming to her. Coleman around the Mullins screen will get inside, and on the drive, Mally Jean going to draw a foul on Clark Range. It'll be on Peyton Manis. She'll pick up her first, team's second, and this will put Mally Jean Coleman on the free throw line to shoot 2 with 5:04 to play in the third. Coleman stepping up there with 7 points, leading Livingston. Puts this one on the way, left it short. She'll have a second opportunity for the Lady Wildcats. That left thumb heavily taped after dislocating it in practice earlier over at Livingston Academy. This one's on the way. This one's good. So Coleman makes 1 out of 2. She's got 8 now for the Lady Wildcats, and the lead back to 7 at 25-18. Rogers in the front court, working the ball there at the half-court circle. Rogers goes left side now to Schote. Schote down low, tried to make the entry pass. Ledbetter knocked it away, but Manis will get to it before it gets out of bounds. Manis now to Schote. Schote back to Rogers. Thought about that deep 3, but didn't take it. At the high post is Hopkins. The left-hand jumper banking good. Katie Hopkins. Hopkins banks home her 4th point. Quickly the other way is Butler. Butler now to Coleman. 25-20. The Livingston lead. Mullins on the skip pass from Coleman. Now to Ledbetter. Ledbetter back to Mullins. She'll take the 3. That one's no good. Rebound taken away by Schote for Clark Range. Schote now to Rogers to bring it front court. Rogers going to walk it up the floor for the Lady Buffaloes. Goes left side Hopkins. Hopkins dribbling top of the key. Hopkins now will back it back out. Lob to Schote on the block. Schote will save it to Manis. Manis. Left side they go for the 3 ball, which is good by Ashton Napier. Napier knocks down the 3. 5 straight by Clark Range. Cuts the lead down. Actually, it is 5 straight. It's 6 straight. Cutting the lead down to 2 at 25-23. In the front court, Butler. Now to Coleman. Coleman left side, Mullins in 3-point range. Mullins spins back to the left hand, picks up the dribble, finds Ledbetter in the short corner on the left side. Pass deflected and out of bounds off of Clark Range. A break right there for Livingston as it went off the foot of a Clark Range player, and Livingston will play it in on the end line with Mally Jean Coleman stepping out to throw in. Coleman to play it in, left side on the baseline. And she'll lob it to Mullins. Mullins dribbling between the circles, left side Butler. Butler got it open, looking at the 3, bang! Ellie Butler knocks down the triple for Livingston Academy. She's got 5 in the quarter, 9 in the game, and Clark Range wants a timeout. 3:07 to play. No, it's not a timeout. They just stopped play to get the net unentangled up there as that triple by Butler entangled the net around the rim, and Clark Range will bring it front court. Rogers across the timeline. picks up the dribble on the right side. Rogers finds Napier. Ball knocked free, but Manis able to get to it. Pass deflected. Hopkins able to pick up the loose ball. Ball they're scrambling out there right now. Right side, Rogers. Rogers bounce pass, blocked away by Butler, but it got on the end line. Oh, just scramble play right there as Clark Range on offense got a little out of control. Livingston chasing them. And it stays with Clark Range. Mullen's going to sit down for Livingston. Hargis will come in replacing her. Rogers sitting down for Clark Range. Stowers will come in replacing her. 2:45 to play in the third as the inbounds goes to Schote for three. That's no good. Rebound taken away by Napier. Now to Hopkins. Hopkins cut off by Melton. Back to Napier. Napier's pass knocked away by Melton. Aaliyah diving after it, but it rolls to Stowers. Stowers looks to drive on the baseline. Took away by Ledbetter. Stowers spins inside. Will pull up and knock down the jumper. Stowers loves to shoot with the defender right on her. Ledbetter had that one well defended. She had a three earlier over Melton, and Stowers into double figures with 10. 28-25, the Livingston lead is 3 as we approach 2 minutes to play in the third. Coleman, right side to Butler. Deep three by Ellie. That one's no good. Rebound taken away by Stowers. Stowers going to drive. Little head fake. Gets her to the baseline. Jumper is no good. First. Teams first here in the second half, and it will put Addie Stowers on the free throw line to shoot 2. Before she goes, though, Livingston going to take a timeout. Lady Wildcats will call it with 1:57 to play in the third, and Livingston leading Clark Range 28-25. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors for making tonight's broadcast possible. Milton Rains and Family, Puckett's Furniture and Appliances, Highway Tire, Jerry's IGA, Physical Medicine Center of the Cumberlands, Midstate Construction, Livingston Dairy Queen, Exit Rocky Top Realty, Bullseye Security, Hall Funeral Home, Maynard's Automotive, Farmers Insurance, Rick Savage, Corticello Italian Restaurant, W&O Construction, Livingston Regional Hospital, Lucky Red Stables, Oakley Equipment Rental, Wayne's Grill, Wascon Incorporated, Willow Grove Marina, Livingston Family Healthcare, Gary Maxwell Insurance, Puckett's Family Dentistry, Overton County News, R&M Family Pharmacy, E.B. Gray Jewelry, and First Church, our sponsors making tonight's broadcast possible. Be sure to support our sponsors. They're the ones that make it possible for us to come out and do these games so people at home can see them, and we appreciate them doing so, and we ask you to support our sponsors in whatever way you can to let them know that you appreciate them doing the sponsoring for us here on Overton Events. Stowers at the free throw line. Puts the free throw on the way and knocks it down. Stowers with her third point in the quarter. She's got 11 in the game. She'll shoot a second free throw here. Stepping back up there for the Lady Buffaloes. Dribbling the basketball there. Second free throw on the way. That one's good again. So Stowers makes them both. She's got 12. Livingston plays the ball in to Coleman. Coleman now will bring it front court for the Lady Wildcats. Coleman dribbling there at the half-court circle. 1:45 to play in the third quarter. Coleman works it right side to Butler. Butler being hounded there by Schote. And they're going to call Schote for the foul. We've got Lauren Schote with 3 now. We'll wait and see. That's going to be team foul number 2 in the second half against Clark Range. Lady Buffaloes have cut the lead to 1 at 28-27 with 1:39 to play here in the third quarter. Livingston plays the ball in to Mullins. Mullins dribbling between the circles. Now to Hargis. Hargis back to Mullins on this near side. That is 3 on Schote as they put it on the board now. Coleman as we approach a minute to play in the third. Coleman dribbling top of the key. Works around the Melton screen. Coleman will drive. Gets inside. Driving layup no good. Melton had the rebound for a moment. Knocked away. And now a whistle blows and it's going to stay with Livingston Academy. Took a long time for that one to get out of bounds as I couldn't see it in that corner, but from here it looked like it was going out quicker than that, but apparently it stayed in a long time. Livingston keeps possession though. Coleman in the front court. Coleman right side to Hargis. Hargis deep in three-point range. Hargis high post, they go to Melton too. Ledbetter cutting down low. Schote knocks the pass away and Stowers will steal it. We're under a minute to play in the third. Stowers in the front court for Clark Range. Stowers dribbling at the half-court circle, works the ball top of the key. Stowers, lob down low, threw it away. Ledbetter with the steal. Ledbetter now in the corner will hand off to Coleman. Livingston in front by 1, 28-27. It was a 3-point lead at halftime as Coleman brings it front court. Coleman for the Lady Wildcats, just dribbling there in the center circle to set the offense for Livingston Academy. Coleman to Mullins now. Mullins will go to Coleman. And now whistle stopping play. And the foul going to be called on Clark Range number 43. That is Ashton Napier picking up her first, team's third here in the first half. Livingston to play the ball in with Hargis to throw in. Hargis plays it into Melton. Melton dribbling at the free throw line. She pulls up in the lane. Jumper's no good. Rebound tapped around. Ledbetter goes to the floor. They're going to call the travel on Hallie Ledbetter. Turned over by Livingston. Will give it back to Clark Range with a chance to take the lead here at the end of the third quarter. As Stowers brings it front court. Stowers on the right side. She'll fall away. Banking no good, and the quarter will end right there. After 3 complete, it is Livingston Academy 28, Clark Range 27. We'll be back for the fourth quarter in just a moment. Basketball belongs to Livingston Academy to start the fourth quarter as the Lady Wildcats will bring it front court with Coleman dribbling across the timeline. Right side to Hargis. Hargis holding the basketball there, now to Ledbetter. Ledbetter now to Coleman on the left side. Coleman there at the half-court circle, just underway with the fourth quarter. Left side they go to Mullins. Mullins in the corner, Melton. Melton back to Coleman. 28-27, the Livingston lead is 1. Coleman gave the play call from Coach Billy Sales here on the near side. Hargis with it on the left wing. Hargis is going to be held and fouled by Napier. Ashton Napier will pick up her second. Team's fourth here in the second half. Coach Rogers coming down to talk to him about that one. It'll be Livingston to play the ball in right at the end of their bench, right in front of the scorer's table as Hargis stepping out to throw in. Team foul number 5 on Clark Range as the inbounds goes to Coleman. Coleman dribbling top of the key for the Lady Wildcats. They'll reset against this 2-3 with Napier and Hopkins up top. They're big at the guards in this 2-3. Melton, left wing Hargis. 3 ball in the air by Tessa is no good. Long rebound. It'll be knocked away by Manis, but knocked out of bounds by Manis. Touch last by Clark Range. Basketball going to go to Livingston Academy. Lady Wildcats know that's Bush checking back in for Clark Range as Hargis stepping out to throw in. Hargis plays the ball into Coleman. Coleman now to bring it front court for Livingston. Works the ball across the timeline. Coleman dribbling there against Hopkins. Will cross to the left hand. Now to Hargis. Hargis between the circles. High post. Ledbetter made a good catch on a hot pass. Now to Coleman. Coleman back to Hargis just in time with that defender sneaking up behind Mally Jean. Coleman on the left side working there for the Lady Wildcats. Dribbling there at the half-court stripe. Coleman works at left side Hargis. Hargis goes inside Ledbetter. Ledbetter now to Mullins. Top of the key 3 by Keeley is no good. It'll be Manis flying in for Clark Range on the rebound and knocking it out of bounds. It's going to stay with Livingston Academy. Lady Wildcats will play it in on the inline with Mally Jean Coleman stepping out to throw in right side on the baseline. Coleman finds Mullins fading out near the half-court circle. Back to Coleman stepping in bounds. Coleman working there against the double team. Saves it to Mullins. Mullins left side Hargis. Hargis will skip it now to Coleman. Coleman way out in three-point range with the left-hand dribble. Coleman will drive, gets in the paint. Coleman all the way to the rim. Layup rolling, no good. Rebound taken away by Manis. Clark Range with a chance to take the lead. In the front court with it is Bush. Bush all the way to the rim. Layup is good, and she is fouled. Will they count it? They will score it for Maddie Bush. Foul going to go on Hallie Ledbetter, and Ledbetter will pick up her fourth. Bush has put Clark Range in front with 5:54 to play in the fourth. Ledbetter picking up number 4 for the Lady Wild. They've got 3 now. They had 3 a few moments ago. I didn't think she had but 3. They had 3 on the board. Bush at the line to shoot a free throw and gets the old-fashioned three-point play. So that's 3 on Hallie Ledbetter, as Coleman will bring it front court. Clark Range in front by 2, 30-28. 5:45 to play in the fourth. Coleman now to Mullins. Back to Coleman. Coleman dribbling with the left hand. They'll swing it to Butler. Butler back to Coleman. Coleman at the half-court circle. Coleman dribbling there for the Lady Wildcats. Right wing to Melton. In the corner, Coleman. Rather to Butler. Butler now to Coleman on the left side. Tried to hit Butler, cutting down low. The ball is on the floor. Butler will save it, and a timeout going to be called by Livingston. They'll take it to avoid a 3-second violation against Ellie Butler, who had to dive on the floor to get to it. And the timeout by the Lady Wildcats will save that possession with a 2-point Clark Range lead, 30-28, with 5:21 to play in the fourth quarter, as Clark Range in front by 2 over Livingston Academy. It was 6-5 Livingston at the end of the first quarter. Lady Wildcats led 19-16 at halftime. They led 28-27 at the end of 3, and now with 5:21 to play in the fourth, Clark Range has a 2-point lead, 30-28 over Livingston Academy. Lady Wildcats will play it in. They can tie it with a 2 or take the lead with a 3. Still, of course, plenty of time here at Clark Range High School. As, let's see who they'll get. Mally Jean Coleman stepping out to throw in for the Lady Wildcats, as she'll play it in left side on the baseline. Inbounds Ledbetter. Now to Butler. Butler, high post Melton. Turnaround at the free throw line. Bouncing, no good. Butler trying to keep it alive. Going to be called for the foul. Ellie Butler will pick up her first. Team's third here in the second half for the Lady Wildcats. As Rogers to play the ball in. Goes inbounds Bush. Bush now will bring it front court on the dribble. Bush at the half-court circle, works it right side to set the offense. Now to Rogers. Rogers, left side Hopkins, back to Rogers. Rogers now to Bush. Bush on the right wing, looks to drive, can't get around Coleman, will back it back out. Bush playing with the 4 fouls for the Lady Buffaloes. Bush left side, Rogers thought about that deep 3, doesn't take it. Now Hopkins on the right side, Livingston matching up in the man-to-man, as Bush will get the ball up top to set the offense against this man-to-man. They're going to set up a 4-high offense here with Rogers coming to get the ball. Now to Stowers. Stowers back to Rogers, fading to the wing. Rogers will drive, and as she goes, Ledbetter picks up number 4 there. Chloe Rogers will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Hallie Ledbetter has picked up her 4th now, and Rogers going to the free throw line for the first time with 4:32 to play in the fourth quarter. Rogers looking for her first point of the game. Free throws on the way and good. Rogers becomes the 7th player to score for Clark Range. Ledbetter going to sit down with the 4 fouls. Mullins coming back in, replacing her. Second free throw from Rogers is good. So Chloe Rogers makes them both, and Clark Range has a 4-point lead, 32-28. Coleman brings it front court. Livingston needs a bucket here in this fourth quarter. They haven't scored yet in the quarter. Butler around the Melton screen. Goes to Mullins out top. Mullins left side, Coleman. Coleman works it in the corner, Butler. Butler will drive the baseline, gets underneath, layup good, Ellie Butler. I think Butler felt like I did that they needed to get something going, and She gets to the rim, lays it up and in. Butler's got 11. Cuts the lead back to 2, 32-30, halfway through the fourth quarter. Rogers dribbling between the circles, right side now to Bush. Bush at the half-court circle, and Clark Range going to use a timeout. They'll take a full right here with Clark Range leading 32-30 over Livingston Academy. Lady Buffalo's lead is 2, 32-30, as they have taken this 2-point advantage with 3:53 to play in the fourth quarter, as Clark Range a couple of timeouts remaining. Coach Rogers giving his team some instructions. As we appreciate you joining us on Overton Events this evening, and make this your home for broadcast of Livingston Academy sports here in the 2022-2023 season. Followed the football team, the soccer team, the volleyball team, and now we're picking up with basketball. We'll have baseball and softball and boys soccer coming up in the spring. As Clark Range back on the floor, it's Stowers, Rogers, Sales back out there for the first time in a long time. Also Schote and Bush. So the starting five for Clark Range. For Livingston, it's Coleman, Butler, Mullins, Melton, and Hargis. Inbounds goes to Bush. Bush now to Stowers. Stowers there at the half-court circle. Right side they go to Sales. Sales now to Bush. Bush steps around the screen. Melton did a good job hedging up top to that screen. Rogers left corner three is good. Chloe Rogers. Rogers knocks down a big bucket. That's her first field goal. Running the other way is Butler. Her layup's good. Ellie Butler taking contact inside. Lays it up and in for her 13th point. Back to a three-point game, 35-32. Schote in the front court. Schote now to Sales. Sales in the paint. She'll get all the way to the rim. Layup good by Casey Sales. Sales taking it strong to the rim. Lays it up and in for her 7th. Butler takes the handoff up top. Butler to the right block. Now to Mullins. Mullins will skip it to Hargis. Tessa doesn't take the three. Now to Coleman. 3 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Clark Range lead is 5, 37-32. Hargis dribbling up top. Goes left side Butler. Butler will drive. Butler gets inside. Takes it to the rim. Layup no good. Rebound tapped by Mullins, and a foul going to be called. Let's see who they've got. I think they've got Livingston here, and it may be Butler. It will go on Ellie Butler. She'll pick up her 2nd. Team foul number 6 against Livingston here in the first half. So for the next 2:43, Clark Range is in the bonus. Bush now to Rogers. Quickly in the front court, Sales. Chance to take a 3-point lead. Sales right side to Schote. Schote then trying to go back to Sales. Will throw it out of bounds. Says it got out of bounds before Butler touched it. Ellie diving after it, and now Hallie Ledbetter going to check back in for Livingston. She'll replace Tessa Hargis. 2.5 to play in the fourth, and a 5-point Clark Range lead, 37-32. Coleman brings it front court for the Lady Wildcats. Coleman dribbling top of the key. Boys game coming up after this one. Clark Range and Livingston from here in this play day at Clark Range. Mullins back to Coleman. Coleman back to Mullins on the left wing. Mullins back to Coleman against this 2-3 zone. Butler now will drive. Goes left wing Mullins. Keeley with a defender running at her. Knocks it down. Keeley Mullins with the big-time triple. She's got her 2nd 3. 10 points in the game for Mullins, and Livingston's back to within 2. Bush in the front court to Rogers. Rogers with the left-hand dribble. Now to Bush. Bush at the half-court circle to set the offense for the Lady Buffaloes. Bush dribbling there against this man-to-man by Livingston. Livingston has a foul to give. Long pass will get in the corner to Sales. Sales will drive. She'll swing it right side for the drive by Rogers. Her pull-up jumper's no good. Rebound taken away by Butler. Butler wanting to run. Butler in the front court. Bush with 4 fouls. Butler right at her. Jumper's no good. Rebound tapped out. Who will get to it? Coleman will, and she's going to be clipped and fouled by Stowers. Addie Stowers will pick up her first, team's 6th. Clark Range had a foul to give before Livingston went into the bonus. So now both teams with 6. They've only got 5 on the board. I think both teams should have 6. Now they put the Livingston foul up there, or the Clark Range foul, so Livingston still has one to give. Right side, Butler. Butler in the corner, Melton. Aaliyah's three. That one's no good. Rebound on the floor to Rogers. Rogers now to Choate. Choate to Bush to bring it front court. Bush across the timeline as we move to a minute to play in the fourth quarter. Stowers, left corner three ball. That's off the side of the board. No good. Mullins with the rebound. Mullins now to Coleman in the front court. Coleman going to drive. Mally Jean to the rim, and she just fouled out Maddie Bush. Mally Jean Coleman will pick up the fifth foul on Bush, and she'll go to the line to shoot two to try to tie the game at 37. Bush picks up her fifth. Coleman going there with a chance to tie it at the free throw line. Bush will foul out with 56 seconds to play in the fourth before Mally Jean shoots the free throws, though. Livingston going to take a timeout. We'll take a moment to thank our sponsors for making tonight's broadcast possible. Livingston Regional Hospital, Lucky Red Stables, Oakley Equipment Rental, Wayne's Grill, Wascon Incorporated, Willow Grove Marina, Livingston Family Healthcare, Gary Maxwell Insurance, Puckett's Family Dentistry, Overton County News, R&M Family Pharmacy, E.B. Gray Jewelry, First Church, Milton Rains and Family, Puckett's Furniture and Appliances, Highway Tire, W&O Construction, Cornicello Italian Restaurant, Farmers Insurance, Rick Savage, Maynard's Automotive, Hall Funeral Home, Bullseye Security, Exit Rocky Top Realty, Livingston Dairy Queen, Midstate Construction, Physical Medicine Center of the Cumberlands, and Jerry's IGA, our sponsors here on Overton Events for these live programs here on our YouTube channel, also on our homepage at overtonevents.com, on the Overton County News website, and on our Facebook page at Overton Events on Facebook. Mally Jean Coleman stepping to the free throw line, shooting two here. If she makes them both, she can tie the game at 37 with 56 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Coleman stepping up there for the Lady Wildcats. First one's on the way, and good. Coleman, one in the quarter. She's got 9 in the game, a 1-point Clark Range lead now is Coleman to shoot a second. Steps up there for the Lady Wildcats. Puts this one on the way and knocks it down. Mally Jean Coleman, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. She's got 10 points. We're all tied at 37. Sales in the front court. Out top to Stowers with 45 seconds to play. Stowers left side Rogers. They look to double team. Rogers now to Sales. Clark Range trying to hold for the last shot of regulation. Sales hands off Stowers. Stowers now dribbling at the half-court circle. Will go left side to Sales with 30 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Livingston looking to double team, but Sales able to get away from it. Now Sales with it once again. They do double team right in front of Coach Rogers. They get the ball to Choate. Knocked away by Mullins. It's loose. Picked up by Coleman, and she's tripped. Foul going to go on Clark Range on the trip. It will go on the Lady Buffaloes. Picking it up is going to be number 35, Casey Sales, called for her second. And this will put Mally Jean Coleman back on the free throw line to shoot the 1-and-1 with a chance to move Livingston in front with 18 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. 1-and-1 here, so she has to make this one to get a second. Coleman stepping up there, takes a deep breath, dribbling the basketball there at the free throw line. Puts this one on the way. Nothing but the bottom of the twine. Mally Jean, 3 in the quarter. She's got 11 in the game. Livingston in front by 1, 38-37. Second free throw coming up. Dribbling the basketball there. Puts this one on the way. Rattles and drops. Coleman has made 5 in a row from the free throw line. 4 of 4 in the fourth quarter. Long pass to Rogers. Rogers to Sales. Pass deflected by Ledbetter. Stolen by Melton. Melton controls it. The foul going to be called. Foul on Clark Range. Going to go on Addie Stowers. Picking up the personal. That will be her second. Team's 9th. So still a 1-and-1 for Aaliyah Melton, who went to the floor hard for the Lady Wildcats on that one. But a foul on Stowers will be team foul number 9. So if Melton can make them both here, she can put Livingston in front by 4 and make it a 2-possession lead with 8.7 seconds to play, 39-37. The Livingston lead is 2, as she would love to get at least 1. You've got to get the first one to get the second one, but she'd love to make that first one to make it where that they couldn't win it with a 3. force it to where that they would have to have a 3 to tie. And that would really limit the choices by Clark Range. Been a great one between these two storied programs. 12 state championships between them. 7 runners-up between them. Clark Range has won 8 state championships. They've been runner-up 3 times. Livingston's won 4 state championships. They've been runners-up 5 times for the Lady Wildcats. So 9 state championship game appearances for Livingston. 11 state championship appearances for Clark Range. They've combined to go to the championship game 20 times and have won 12 of those 20. That's some pretty good tradition right here between these two schools. Aaliyah Melton stepping up there for the Lady Wildcats. Puts this one on the way, left it short. Rebound taken away by Schote. Schote quickly in the front court. They can tie it with a 2, and she walked with it. Turnover by Clark Range. We'll give it to Livingston. Schote got cut off there by Keely Mullins. Took a step, and the turnover gives it to the Lady Wildcats. Still 3.4, though. Clark Range going into full court pressure here, trying to deny everywhere. Livingston gets the ball inbounds to Coleman. Now whistle stopping play, and a foul going to be called. It happened in that corner there where you can't see what's going on, but Katie Hopkins is called for the foul, her first, and this will put Mally Jean Coleman back on the free throw line to shoot 2. Coleman stepping up there. If she makes them both, this one is all but done. Still 1.3 to play, so they can still get a look. This is the double bonus, though, so Coleman a chance at 2 free throws here. First one's on the way and good. Mally Jean, 5 in the quarter, 13 in the game for the Lady Wildcat Junior. This is the big one to make it a 4-point lead. Coleman stepping up there, puts this one on the way and knocks it down. 6 of 6 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter. She's made 7 in a row. Rogers' three-quarter court 3 is no good. Clark Range sees their record drop to 1-2 on the season. Let's check the scoring for the Lady Buffaloes. Addie Stowers will end up with 12 on the night, including 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 2 3-point field goals. 5 points for Chloe Rogers that helped them get the lead in the fourth quarter. 4 points scored by Maddie Bush. 7 in the game for Casey Sales. 2 points scored tonight by Peyton Manis. 3 in the game for Ashton Napier. And 4 points scored tonight by Katie Hopkins to give them their total of 37. For Livingston, just going down the row here for the Lady Wildcats, Hallie Ledbetter ends up with 1 point. 3 points on the night for Aaliyah Melton. 10 points in the game for Keely Mullins, including a big three-pointer when they needed it. It was 14 points on the night for Mally Jean Coleman. She made 6 of 6 down the stretch from the free throw line. Ended up going 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Made 7 in a row at the line going into the third quarter, making those 7 in a row, and ends up with 14 points and leads Livingston in scoring tonight and got the 2 free throws that iced this one at 41-37. Ellie Butler ends up with 13 points on the night for the Lady Wildcats to give them their total of 41. So with the win, Livingston moves their record to 2-0. They get a couple of big wins here today in this Clark Range play day to get things started for Livingston Academy. Now, we'll take a little break. We'll come back. We'll get the boys game get underway. It's Livingston Academy and Clark Range in the boys matchup coming up from here at Clark Range High School in just a little bit. Good one wrapped up between a couple of very good girls basketball teams just a few minutes ago, with Livingston Academy getting the win over Clark Range 41-37 to get the win over the Lady Buffaloes, and Livingston's girls win a couple of games up here in this Clark Range Hall of Fame play day today, as the Livingston Academy Wildcats getting ready to play now in this second matchup against the host team, Clark Range Buffaloes. And we had some numbers different in the program when I wrote them down here earlier to get ready for this one, so it's going to be maybe a little tough to find where everything is here in this boys matchup, but we'll do the best we can to get through this. The Clark Range Buffaloes are coached by second-year head coach Jermaine McIlvain. For Clark Range, they'll start number 0, Chris Beatty. Number 1, Case Cordell. Also, number 14, Brighton Swallows. Number 22, Collier Bush. And number 12, Jack Cordell, the starting 5 for the Buffaloes of Clark Range. Again, number 0, Chris Beatty. Number 1, Case Cordell. Number 14, Brighton Swallows. Number 22, Collier Bush. And number 12, Jack Cordell, the starting 5 for Clark Range, dressed in the black uniforms, the gold numbers, the gold trim on the basketball uniforms. Livingston, coached by Jimmy Miller, assisted by Nate Kennard and Blake Qualls. The Wildcats come in 2-0 into this matchup. They will start number 11, Brody Coffey. Number 20, Daniel Bilbrey. Number 21, Tucker Miller. Number 32, Easton Goodpasture. And number 42, Isaac Story, the starting 5 for the Wildcats of Livingston Academy. I didn't let them catch me this time. As we see the lights go down, we'll get our starting lineups, and we'll get this one started again in just a moment. So the Clark Range starters introduced to the crowd here. Clark Range played a little bit ago against Smith County. Smith County got the win in that one by a pretty wide margin over Clark Range. Isaac Story will step in to jump for Livingston. He'll jump against Brighton Swallows for Clark Range. Ready to get this first quarter underway. Clark Range moving to the bucket to our left. Livingston moving to the bucket to our right. Story jumping instead of Wyatt Hargis, who's not here for the Wildcats today due to illness. They expect him to be back very soon for Livingston Academy. Ball's in the air. Tap going to be controlled by Livingston as Goodpasture hands it off to Miller. Miller in the front court now to Bilbrey on the left side. Bilbrey goes right wing now to Story. Story pulls up the free throw line. Jumper there's good. Isaac Story. Story with the first 2 of the game puts Livingston in front quickly, 2-0. Clark Range now to bring it front court with Collier Bush. Bush in the front court to Beatty. Back to Bush. Bush will hand off now to Cordell. Cordell top of the key. Hands off to Beatty. Beatty back to Cordell. Cordell now to Bush between the circles. Bush dribbling to the left wing. Will give the basketball up now to Swallows. Cordell will drive. Left corner they go to Beatty. The 19-foot jumper is no good. Rebound Bilbrey wanting to run. Bilbrey quickly in the front court. Will hand off to Miller. Miller back to Bilbrey right side. They'll skip it now to Story. Story didn't catch it clean. He wanted the three. He'll drive instead, and he'll lay it up with the left hand. He had the feet set, wanting to try to knock down that triple on the open look. It bounced out of his hands just a little bit, so he just put the rock on the floor and took it to the rack and lays it up and in for his 4th point. Livingston's out 4-0. Swallows in the front court for Clark Range. Swallows goes right side, Beatty back to Swallows. Swallows double teamed in the post. He'll try to go inside. Ball knocked right back to Swallows, though, on that entry pass. Down low, Bilbrey with another steal. Bilbrey quickly in the front court for Livingston. Bilbrey lost it on the drive. He'll save it now to Miller. Miller to Goodpasture in the lane. Dribbled it out of bounds. It went off of Goodpasture. It will go to Clark Range. Wildcats touched it last as they play the ball into Bush. Bush to bring it slowly up the floor for the Buffaloes. Just underway with this first quarter with Livingston leading 4-0. Bush in the front court to Beatty. Beatty now back to Bush, where they're still holding over on the far side. Beatty dribbles into the corner. Spins back with the left hand. Needs help. Will go high post now to Cordell. Inside they get the ball to Swallows. Brighton Swallows. Driving layup is good for his first 2. Bilbrey in the front court to Miller. That's the first 2 for Clark Range. Goodpasture in the lane. Little up and under move. Can't get the shot away. Miller right side 3. Knocks it down. Tucker Miller. That's his first 3 of this game here in the Clark Range gym. He's made 5 today and hopes to add to it in the rest of this matchup with the host Buffaloes, as that extends the lead to 5 at 7-2. The front court with it. Swallows on the right side. In the corner, Beatty. Beatty will drive with the left hand. Drops it off. Ball taken away by Bilbrey. Bilbrey with the steal. Quickly around Cordell. No look in the corner to Miller. His jumper in there is bouncing no good. Bilbrey with an offensive rebound. Bilbrey will save it out to Story. Story will drive. Left-hand layup good. Isaac Story. Story going strong to the rim with the left hand. Lays it up and in for his 6th point here in the first quarter. And Livingston jumps out early, 9-2. And Clark Range wants a 30-second timeout. Wildcats getting to the rim with Isaac Story, and Tucker Miller continues to shoot the ball very well, knocking down, as we said, his 5th 3 on the day. He hit 4 against Whitwell in the first game, only played in the first half essentially against Whitwell, and hit those 4 threes. Now has hit 1 here in the first quarter against Clark Range with 5:17 to play in the first. The Livingston lead is 7 at 9-2, as it will be Clark Range basketball after the layup by Story, as stepping out to throw in will be Cordell. Cordell plays the ball in to Bush to bring it front court. Bush now back to Cordell. No, that's not Cordell. That is Cordell with it. Cordell across the timeline. There are 2 Cordells out there. As Goodpasture knocks it away, and they're going to call Easton for a foul there, trying to knock it free. Goodpasture will pick up his first foul against Livingston, first foul of the game actually, coming with 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. They've got Jack Cordell and Case Cordell out there. Case wears number 1, Jack number 12. The 3-pointer by Beatty is no good. Bilbrey running the other way. Reverse layup good. Daniel Bilbrey. Bilbrey lays it up and in for his first 2. Livingston's out by 9 now at 11-2. Bush in the front court. Right side to Beatty, and he's going to be bumped and fouled by Livingston. Let's see who they've got. Miller and Story were both there. It's going to go on Tucker Miller. Miller picks up his first, team's 2nd here in the first half. Case Cordell stepping. No, it's going to be a new player out there, number 13. Checking in. That is Lane now to Jack Cordell. Out top, Case Cordell. Right side now to Swallows. Swallows backing it back out at the 3-point arc. Hands off now to Bird. Out top, Bush. Bush, right wing, Swallows. In the corner, Jack Cordell. Cordell back up top. Case Cordell. He'll drive, gets in the paint, hits Swallows breaking to the rim. Layup good. Brighton Swallows. Swallows has all points here in the first quarter. Quickly the other way. Miller to the rim. Right-hand layup good. Tucker Miller. Miller quickly down the floor, lays it up and in for his 5th point as Clark Range brings it front court. Bush goes left side. Swallows. We're halfway through the first quarter. That pass deflected away by Story and out of bounds. Touched last by Livingston. Basketball will stay with Clark Range as Goodpasture going to sit down. Rocco Carwile will come in replacing him. Clark Range goes inbounds to Swallows. Swallows up top. Case Cordell, his three in the air is bouncing, no good. Rebound Carwile. Carwile now to Story quickly in the front court. To Bilbrey in the right corner. Bilbrey goes out to Coffee. His three in the air is bouncing, no good. Rebound fought for and knocked out of bounds by Carwile, they say. Carwile tried to say it went off Bird, but the official right there says no, and it goes to Clark Range. Inbounds goes to Bush. Bush, long pass in the front court to Jack Cordell. Left corner tried to get the ball to Swallows, knocked away by Livingston and out of bounds. Touched last by the Wildcats. It will stay with Clark Range. Case Cordell stepping out to throw in, left side on the baseline. Plays it in the corner to Bird. Now Bush on the wing. Livingston leading 13-4 as we approach 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Case Cordell to Jack Cordell. Now Swallows at the elbow. Swallows puts the ball on the floor, gets to the block. His jumper no good. Rebound off the hands of Coffee and out of bounds. They'll play it in, left side on the baseline. Case Cordell stepping out to throw in. Plays the ball right side. Jack Cordell behind the back. Can't shake free of Miller. Livingston double teams. Clark Range backs it back out to Bush. Left side now to Bird. Right back to Bush at the half-court circle. Cordell in the corner. Swallows. Swallows gets down low. Jumper good. Brighton Swallows. Swallows has his 6th point. Story in the front court for Livingston. Story dribbling top of the key. Isaac will spin in the paint. Fall away from 10. Bouncing no good. Rebound Jack Cordell. Now to Bush. Bush wanting to push. Livingston picking them up in the 1-2-2 half court. Handoff Case Cordell. Case one dribble. Hits Bird in the paint. Made a great catch. Jack Cordell, left side three ball is no good. Rebound tapped by Carwile. And Carwile will kick it out to Miller. Miller, little floater on the left side is short, no good. Tucker got his own rebound. Left corner they go to Bilbrey. His three in the corner is no good. Long rebound. Going to get out of bounds. Touch last by Livingston. It will go to Clark Range. The Wildcat lead is 7, 13-6 as Carwile going to sit down. Tayshawn Hayes will come in replacing him. Clark Range to play the ball in. As they go inbounds to Bush as we've got 2 minutes to play first quarter with Livingston in front by 7. Bird on the right block. Turns to his left hand. Fall away in the lane. Banking good. Lane Bird. Bird has his first 2. Clark Range is cut to 5 at 13-8. Story inside Hayes is wide open at the rim. Layup good. Tayshawn Hayes. Hayes getting free at the left block. Lays it up and in for his first 2. Case Cordell got away with a walk. Bush, long pass ahead to Bird. Bird underneath Swallows. Swallows fakes. Jumper inside, no good. Rebound tapped out and controlled by Bilbrey. Bilbrey putting that defense on the run again. Story will drive. His floater's no good. Rebound taken away by Jack Cordell. Cordell now to Bush. Bush working the ball across the timeline. Will dribble to the free throw line. Has it knocked away and double dribble. Good defense there. I think Bilbrey the one that forced that turnover for Livingston. The basketball will go to the Wildcats. It'll be Story to bring it front court for Livingston. Working the ball across the timeline here against a half-court 1-2-2 trap by Clark Range. Bilbrey, high post Hayes at the elbow. Hayes will swing it right side Miller. Miller will take the jumper on the near side. No good. Hayes with the offensive rebound. Coffee to Bilbrey. Bilbrey to the rim. Shot blocked, but a foul called on Brighton Swallows. Swallows got him with the left hand underneath. He'll pick up his first. That's the first foul committed by Clark Range. It comes with 59 seconds to play in the first quarter, and it will put Daniel Bilbrey on the free throw line to shoot 2. Bilbrey going there and knocks it down. Daniel has his 3rd point of the game. He'll shoot a second free throw here for the Wildcats. Stepping back up there, puts this one on the way and knocks it down. So Bilbrey makes them both, and Livingston back out by 9 at 17-8. The front court with it, Swallows. Swallows dribbles to the right side. Livingston staying in that half-court trap. Swallows will skip it now to Case Cordell. Cordell will drive with the right hand. In the corner, Jack Cordell. His three in the air is no good. Rebound tapped out. Jack Cordell will get to it. He's double teamed, spins through it. Layup no good. But a foul going to be called on Livingston, and Jack Cordell will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 as the foul goes on Tayshawn Hayes, picking up his first, team's 3rd here in the first half. Cordell to the line for the first time. As he steps up there looking for his first point, the left-hander puts it on the way, no good. He'll have another chance with 39 seconds to play in the first quarter. Cordell to shoot a second free throw, 17-8. The Livingston lead is 9. Wildcats have led by as many as 11. Second free throw rims out again. Rebound Story. Story now will bring it front court. Livingston may hold for the last shot of the quarter. Coffee, left side Story. Story in the corner, Miller. Miller in the lane, Coffee, power dribble. Gets to the right side, layup no good. Rebound tapped by Bird. He'll save it, but saves it out of bounds. Touch last by Clark Range. Basketball going to stay with Livingston Academy as they'll play it in left side front court with Coffee stepping out to throw in with 23 seconds to play in the first quarter. They'll go back court to Story to take a little of that time off the first quarter clock. Story brings it front court, dribbles with Bush guarding him, not close enough for the 5. Now to Bilbrey with 10 seconds. They look to double team, now back away from it. Bilbrey will start the drive. Bilbrey gets inside, driving layup, good. Daniel Bilbrey. Bilbrey breaking them down off the bounce. He's laid it up and in for his 6th point, and we're through 1. Livingston matches their biggest lead at 11 at the end of the first quarter. It's the Wildcats 19, the Buffaloes 8. We'll have the second quarter coming up in just a moment. The Livingston lead is 11, 19-8 over Clark Range at the end of the first quarter. Good first quarter by the Wildcats, putting up 19. Doesn't match their first game when they put up 57 in the first half. I don't remember the last time the Wildcat team has scored 57 in a half. It's been a pretty good while since they've done that, and it'll be Bird to throw in for Clark Range as the Buffaloes will have possession. To start the second quarter, inbounds goes to Bush. Bush now across the timeline, dribbling there for Clark Range against this matchup zone by Livingston. To Jack Cordell, inside Swallows. Swallows looking to dribble with the left hand, back up top, Case Cordell. Case will drive, double team, pass taken away. Story stepped in front to intercept. Story leading the break, left side Miller. Miller had to avoid the official running behind him. He'll skip it in the corner to Bilbrey. Bilbrey now will drop it off to another player, back to Miller. Now Bilbrey, left corner 3 ball by Daniel is no good. Coffee with the rebound, dribbled it off his foot, but it goes right to Hayes. Hayes now to Coffee stepping in the corner. Coffee will drive, double teamed on the baseline, backs it back out to Bilbrey. Bilbrey working there for the Wildcats. Will bring it up to the half-court circle to set the offense for Coach Jimmy Miller and assistant coaches Nate Kenner and Blake Qualls. They have had a great history at Livingston Academy. All 3 of those names a part of it in the last little bit, as Coach Miller has been involved in as many state championship games as anybody at Livingston, I'd say. Miller on the right side, I knew that at one time. It's he or Durward Vaughn that has the most. Coffee going to be called for a travel before that jumper. And the turnover will give it back to Clark Range. Chris Beatty checking back in for the Buffaloes as he'll come in replacing Case Cordell. So I can quit using both names for the Cordells. Is Jack Cordell the only one out there right now? So that'll make it a little easier as Bush brings it front court. Bush right side to Beatty. Back to Bush between the circles. Bush back to Beatty. Livingston still in that matchup to Cordell. Cordell looks to drive the baseline. Hayes took that away. Cordell will skip it now to Swallows. Swallows dribbling out top. Backs it back near the half-court stripe. Back to Cordell in the corner. Cordell works his way. 3 in the air is short, no good. Long rebound going to be saved by Hayes. Was he on the end line? He was. He was on the end line there, so the ball will go to Clark Range. Clark Range to play it in to Swallows. Swallows in the right corner. Swallows dribbling with the left hand, works his way in the paint. Back to Cordell. Cordell picks up the dribble, goes down low, Swallows. Swallows turns inside and draws a foul from Story. Isaac Story will pick up his first. Team's fourth here in the first half, and the first free throws of the game, or the second quarter, they have shot 2. And this will be Swallows going there to shoot 2 this time, as he steps up there for the Buffaloes. This one's on the way, and no good. They haven't made a free throw yet. Clark Range 0 of 3 from the free throw line. Chance to get this back to 10, though, if he can make here. Swallows stepping back up there. Puts this one on the way and knocks it down. They'll wave it off, though. Lane violation against Clark Range, takes it away. Thought he'd missed it, tried to follow his own shot too quickly and got there before it hit the rim, got into the lane, so the free throw taken off the board. Story in the front court for Livingston. Story working there at the half-court stripe. Story will drive around the Goodpasture screen. Story gets down low. That's a good switch defensively by Swallows. Goodpasture will get to the loose ball and will draw a foul on Clark Range, but give Brighton Swallows credit. The foul's going to go on number 12. That is Jack Cordell picking up his first. Team's second. This will put Easton Goodpasture on the free throw line to shoot 2 for the Wildcats as he steps up there with 5:50 to play first half. First free throw's no good. Easton looks for his first point of the game. I started to say Brighton Swallows did a great job switching on that pick and roll. Goodpasture knocks down the second one, so they do get a point out of this trip and extend the lead to 12 at 20-8, taking their biggest lead with 5:45 to play in the first half. Bush in the front court there at the half-court circle. Goes left side to Beatty, back to Bush. Bush now going to send Cordell down in the corner. He'll catch it there right side to Bird cutting across the lane, but that one's knocked away by Goodpasture, and it went out of bounds off the hands of Bird, and it will go to Livingston Academy. Story goes inbounds to Coffey. Coffey now will bring it front court for the Wildcats. Coffey now to Bilbrey. Bilbrey, high post, they go to Goodpasture. To Bilbrey, breaking to the rim. Layup, no good. Goodpasture with the offensive rebound, back up and in. Easton going to work on the offensive glass. Able to get there and clear that rebound and put it back up and in for his first field goal. He's got 3 points, and it is 22-8, and the clock's running. They haven't stopped the clock, as they will now with 5:04 to play in the first half. Livingston extending the lead to 14 at 22-8. Goodpasture with all 3 of Livingston's points here in the second quarter. They led 19-8 at the end of the first quarter. They've outscored them 3-0 in the second half. The Wildcats, as they had some games scheduled coming up next weekend down in around Nashville. I think it was at Independence, was it? It was somewhere they were scheduled to play, but they've had to pull out of that one. So the next action for the Livingston Academy boys right now is not until November the 29th when they open up regular season play on the road up in Byrdstown at Pickett County. Clark Range to play the ball in on the inline, but they've got a chance to open up 3-0 if they can continue what they're doing here and get this win against Clark Range. Inbounds goes to Bush to bring it front court. He'll work it across the timeline. Dribbling there at the half-court circle. High post Swallows. That one went off his knee and able to save it back to Bush. Deep 3 out top is no good. Rebound taken away by Miller for Livingston. Tucker will bring it up court for the Wildcats as he works it right side to Coffey. Coffey, they just left the rim. Coffey wide open, going to the rim, lays it up and in. Got a guard inside out. Clark Range was stepping to the outside player in the corner. Just opened up the rim, and Brody Coffey took advantage, laying it up and in for his first 2. Here's a steal by Bilbrey. Bilbrey to Miller. Miller, no look. Coffey, layup, good. Pretty steal and finish as Bilbrey diving to get the steal, taps it out to Miller. Miller, no look to Coffey, and Brody's got back-to-back buckets. Oh, almost a steal by Story. Pull-up jumper on the far side, no good by Clark Range. Rebound Bilbrey, they want to run again. Bilbrey to Miller. Miller back to Coffey, didn't catch it clean. Down low, Goodpasture posting up. Takes some contact, kicks it back to Bilbrey. Bilbrey will drive, kicks it out Miller. Spotted for 3, rims out on him. Rebound tapped by Coffey, controlled by Beatty. Beatty now will bring it front court for Clark Range. Beatty works it up top, Swallows. Back to Beatty. Oh, my goodness, he's shooting that one from down around Grimsley somewhere and knocks down that three-pointer. Chris Beatty with the 3 for Clark Range. Their first 3-point field goal, and they cut it down to 26-11, their first points of the second quarter. Goodpasture down low, Story cutting without the ball. Layup good, Isaac Story. running the offense through the big man at the high post. Story got to the back door, got wide open, reversed it home for his 7th point of the game. Swallows now to Bush. Bush back to Swallows in the right corner. Swallows dribbles with the left hand. A little contact there. Livingston double teams. Now they kick it back out to Bush. Bush up top, Beatty. He'll take another deep three and knock that one down. Chris Beatty, unlimited range it looks like. He's got his second three, both here in this second quarter, and it cuts the lead back to 14 at 28-14 after the Wildcats had went up by 17, their biggest lead before that three-pointer by Beatty. Good pasture. Spins, turns to his left hand. Easton will drive. His jumper's no good. Bilbrey back up and in. Daniel Bilbrey with the offensive rebound and put back. He's got his 8th point in this first half, and Livingston back out by 16 now, 30-14 with 2.5 to play in the first half. Bush in the front court. Goes right side now to Beatty. Back to Bush. Bush dribbles with the left hand around the Swallows screen. Left wing they go to Cordell. Jack Cordell's jumper for 2 is good. Jack Cordell with his first points of the night. Coming with 2:15 to play in the half. Story now to bring it front court for Livingston. Story working the ball on the right side. Dribbling the basketball there. Story will get inside, kicks it back out to Miller. Miller all the way to the rim. Jumper banking, no good. Good pasture, another rebound. His follows, no good. Rebound Swallows, and he's going to be fouled by Good Pasture. Good Pasture will pick up his second. Team's 5th here in the first half. So they've still got 1 to give before Clark Range will go in the bonus. Clark Range has been called for only 5, so they've got 4 to give before Livingston's in the bonus. Case Cordell going to come back in for Clark Range. The inbounds goes to Bush against 2-2-1 pressure by Livingston. Now to Swallows. Swallows in the backcourt, picks up the dribble. He'll make the long pass ahead to Beatty. Beatty, his pass taken away. Tried to make that extra pass to Cordell, couldn't do so. Story all the way to the rim, layup good, Isaac Story. Story with 4 in the quarter, he's got 10 in the game. Bush now to Cordell. Cordell to Beatty in the front court. It's 3-on-1. Beatty will keep it. Left-hand layup, no good. Rebound tapped by Case Cordell. Beatty will save it back to Case Cordell. His jumper down low is good. Case Cordell has his first 2. Here's Coffey in the front court for Livingston. Coffey will drive. Coffey hits Carwile on the left side. Layup good. Rocco Carwile. Carwile in there for the Wildcats has his first 2. Livingston leads it 34-18. Bush now to Beatty as we move inside a minute as Cordell runs. Oh, no, they're going to call the block on Carwile. I thought that was going to be a charge. They get Rocco for the block. That's his first. Team 6th. So no shots here. Is on the floor. He wasn't shooting. They'll play the ball in on the end line with Case Cordell stepping out to throw in. Cordell plays it right wing. Jack Cordell lost it for a moment, got it back. Saves it now to Bush as we're under a minute to play in the first half. Case Cordell on the right wing. Tried to hit Swallows. It's knocked free. Swallows gets to it, though. Swallows double teamed on the baseline. Swallows looking for help. We'll find Jack Cordell breaking to the rim. His jumper is good. Jack Cordell has his 4th point. 34-20 with 35 seconds to play in the half. Livingston may hold for the last shot of the first half. Bilbrey there at the half-court line. Working the ball against this man-to-man now by Clark Range. Bilbrey works it to the right wing. Backs it back out now. Picks up the dribble. High post they go to Coffey. Coffey turns in the lane. Swallows blocked him. Bilbrey will get the rebound, though. Bilbrey now tries to save it out to Miller, but it's stolen by Bush. Bush will drive, and he does just run over Tucker Miller, but they're going to call a block on Tucker. Well, you got to be there and planted to get a block called today, and that will be number 7. That will put Jack Cordell on the free throw line to shoot the 1-and-1. He'll go there with 15 seconds to play in the first half with Livingston leading 34-20. That's not Cordell going. That is Bush going to the free throw line. Collier Bush stepping up there. Running the 1-and-1 is no good. Rebound Story for Livingston. Story quickly in the front court with 10 seconds to play in the half. Story on the right side, dribbling there for the Wildcats. 5 seconds showing on the play clock, or on the game clock. Story's jumper banking, no good at the buzzer, and we're at halftime. At halftime, it is Livingston Academy 34, Clark Range 20. We'll check the scoring in the first half, and we'll get the second half started from here in Clark Range in just a moment. Halftime here at Clark Range in this boys matchup with Clark Range hosting this Hall of Fame play day. They've still got one game left here this afternoon, as it's going to be the Clark Range Lady Buffaloes closing out today, playing against Smith County in the final game, coming up about 15 minutes after this one's wrapped up. Let's take a look at the scoring in the first half. First of all, for Clark Range, they're being led by a couple of players with 6 points each. Chris Beatty has 6 points on 2 3-point field goals. 6 points in the first half for Brighton Swallows. He was 0 of 2 from the free throw line. 5 points at halftime for Jack Cordell. Cordell went 1 of 3 from the free throw line. 2 points in the first half for Case Cordell, and 2 points at halftime for Lane Bird to give Clark Range their total of 20. Clark Range got to the free throw line 6 times. They made 1 of 6 from the free throw line. Buffaloes made 2 3-point field goals in the first half of play. Livingston seen 7 different players score, and a possibility to have 3 different players lead them in scoring in their first 3 games of the season, as it is Isaac Story leading the Wildcats in this game with Clark Range with 10 points in the first half. 8 points scored by Daniel Bilbrey. Bilbrey was 2 of 2 from the free throw line. It was 5 points in the first half for Tucker Miller. He's made 1 3-point field goal. 4 points in the first half for Brody Coffey. 3 points scored at halftime by Easton Goodpasture. He was 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 2 points in the first half for Rocco Carwile. 2 points at halftime for Tayshawn Hayes to give Livingston their total of 34. Wildcats won the first game against Whitwell big in the first matchup, as Livingston won that one over Whitwell by a final score of 78-43, trying to go 2-0. The Lady Wildcats of Livingston have went 2-0 today. They beat Hendersonville, a good Hendersonville team, earlier by a final score of 62-52, then knocked off the home team Clark Range 41-37 after 14 points by Mally Jean Coleman, including 6 of 6 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter by Mally Jean, and 2 big free throws with 3 seconds to play, well, actually with 1.3 seconds to play, to give them a 4-point lead, and the Lady Wildcats went on to win that one. The first game earlier, Rocco Carwile led Livingston in scoring with 14 against Whitwell. Wyatt Hargis led Livingston against Clay County with 22. And now Isaac Story leading Livingston here today against Clark Range with 10. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors for making tonight's broadcast possible. Livingston Regional Hospital, Lucky Red Stables, Oakley Equipment Rental, Wayne's Grill, Wascott Incorporated, Willow Grove Marina, Livingston Family Healthcare, Gary Maxwell Insurance, Puckett's Family Dentistry, Overton County News, R&M Family Pharmacy, E.B. Gray Jewelry, First Church, W&O Construction, Cornicello Italian Restaurant, Farmers Insurance, Rick Savage, Maynard's Automotive, Hall Funeral Home, Bullseye Security, Exit Realty, Livingston Dairy Queen, Midstate Construction, Physical Medicine Center of the Cumberlands, Jerry's IGA, Milton Rains, and Wildcats going to send out Isaac Story, Daniel Bilbrey, Tucker Miller, Brody Coffey, and Easton Goodpasture. Clark Range going to send out Collier Bush, Case Cordell, Jack Cordell, Chris Beatty, and Brighton Swallows. Inbounds goes to Bilbrey to bring it front court as we get the second half underway to Story. Story in the corner now to Coffey. Coffey looks to a cutter going through. Will make the pass to Bilbrey on the wing. Now Goodpasture posting up. Little jumper in the lane, bouncing no good. Rebound Jack Cordell. Cordell now to bring it front court for Clark Range. He'll go to Bush. Bush now across the timeline. Right side they work the basketball. To Beatty. Beatty to Case Cordell on the left side. Cordell backs it back out to Beatty. Now to Bush. Bush back to Beatty. Beatty on the wing now, Case Cordell. He'll drive the baseline. Ball knocked away by Story. It's loose inside. Story and Swallow is going to tie it up, and the arrow is going to give it to Clark Range. They didn't change it on the board, but it is Clark Range basketball because Livingston got it to start the second half. And it went a few more seconds. I wouldn't have remembered that, but the second half just started, so I can. As Lane Bird going to check back in for Clark Range. Case Cordell to throw in. Goes inbounds to Swallows in the lane. They double team him. Now triple team him. He backs it back out to Beatty. His three is an air ball. Rebound Case Cordell. Back up no good. Rebound fought for inside. Jack Cordell comes out of there with it. His jumper with the left hand is no good. Cordell will tap this one and will tap it out of bounds as Goodpasture and Case Cordell getting tangled up inside and both going to the floor. No foul, no harm, and it will be Livingston playing the ball into Story. Story now to Bilbrey to bring it front court. A minute gone in the third quarter. Nobody scored here in the second half. Livingston still leading 34-20. Bilbrey down low, good pasture. Fall away, left-hand jumper, banking no good. Going to be fouled by Bird, though, before the shot. Lane Bird will pick up his first foul in the second half on Clark Range. And Livingston will play in on the inline. Before they do, though, they stop play. They're resetting the fouls on the board. They hadn't changed them from the first half. They're fixing that with 6:53 to play in the third quarter. Livingston to play the ball in on the end line with Brody Coffey stepping out to throw in. Now they're having a little trouble with it. Now they get it closer to where we need to be the second half, and we're ready for that with Coffey now to throw in. Coffey to Story, breaking right in front of him. Isaac Banks home the two. Story 2 in the quarter. He's got 12 in the game. Livingston out by 16, 36-20. They have led by as many as 18. Case Cordell in the front court to Bird. Bird right side, Jack Cordell. He'll drive in the paint. Forces up a jumper with the left hand and got it to go home. Jack Cordell has his 7th point of the night. As Livingston quickly the other way with Bilbrey. Up top, Story. Story drives, drops it off. Good pasture, left-hand layup, good. Easton, good pasture. Cutting without the basketball. Story found him wide open at the rim. Easton has 5 now for the Wildcats. Jack Cordell, left corner threes, no good. Rebound tapped by Case Cordell, controlled by Jack Cordell. He'll whip it in the corner to Swallows. His 3 in the air is good. Brighton Swallows. Swallows knocks down the three-pointer for Clark Range. His first 3, he's got 9 now. Here's a steal by Bush. Then good pasture, took it right back. And now what have we got? Is it going to be an offensive foul or a foul on Bush? Going to go on Bush, trying to take it. No, it's going to go. It's not on either one. It's going to be on Jack Cordell. Cordell will pick up his 2nd. Coach McIlvain wanting to talk to the official about it. Jermaine McIlvain, 2nd-year head coach here at Clark Range. Livingston coached by longtime head coach Jimmy Miller. Foul on Clark Range, a common foul, so Livingston plays it in. Brody at the free throw line. Brody Coffey to Good Pasture. Good Pasture back up top to Bilbrey. Bilbrey left side Story. Story will drive, pulls up in the lane. Jumper's good. Isaac Story. Story having himself a night. He's got 4 in the quarter, 14 in the game for Livingston Academy. Case Cordell. High post they go to Beatty, and Good Pasture trying to take it away will pick up his 3rd foul. Easton picks up number 3 with 5.5 to play in the third. Team foul number 1 here in the second half against Livingston as Carlisle going to come in replacing Good Pasture. Official stopping play to check something here. Not sure what they're asking about there at the scorer's table. Coach Miller wanting an explanation about something. Clark Range to play the ball in, right side on the baseline. Goes off the hands of Swallows, picked up by Coffey on the run to Bilbrey. Bilbrey to the rim, layup good, and he is fouled. Daniel Bilbrey quickly down the floor. Lays it up and in. Foul going to go on number 1. That is Case Cordell picking up his first. Daniel Bilbrey with a chance at a three-point play here for Livingston Academy with 5:26 to play in the third quarter and a chance to match their biggest lead at 18 if he can knock this down. Bilbrey dribbling the basketball there. Free throws on the way and good. Daniel knocks down the triple. They're the three-point old-fashioned three-point play. He's got 11 now for the Wildcats. Case Cordell in the front court. Dribbles around the screen by Bird. Left corner Swallows. Swallows back out to Case Cordell. Cordell back left side now to Beatty in the corner. Swallows. His 3 on the way is bouncing no good. Rebound Bilbrey. Then he has it knocked away by Jack Cordell, who touched it last. Clark Range did. It will go to Livingston Academy. Wildcats will play it in on the end line as Coffee goes inbounds to Bilbrey. Bilbrey, lob backdoor, tried to hit Miller, but Swallows knocks it away and out of bounds. Touch last by Clark Range. It will stay with Livingston Academy. Wildcats will play it in with Coffee stepping out to throw in. Coffee finds Carwile breaking to him. Carwile will drive, gets inside, and as he goes, a hand check going to be called on Clark Range. Foul on the Buffaloes will go on Chris Beatty. Beatty will pick up his first. Team's third as Coffee to throw in. Coffee lobs it to Bilbrey on the right wing. Bilbrey dribbling up top, goes around Swallows, driving layup good, Daniel Bilbrey. Bilbrey challenging the taller Brighton Swallows, able to bank it high off the glass for his 13th point of the game. Case Cordell, Bilbrey knocks it away, Cordell recovers, Bilbrey dives on the floor with him, and the jump ball is going to give it to Livingston Academy. Wildcats with the hustle play by Daniel Bilbrey. No, they're going to call a foul on Daniel Bilbrey. Bilbrey will pick up his first foul in the second half against Livingston. Clark Range has been called for 4 in the second half. Case Cordell going to sit down. Collier Bush will come in replacing him. Inbounds goes to Bush. Bush back to Jack Cordell. Cordell on the right wing. Tried to go down low to Swallows. Livingston double teams and knocks it away. And it goes out of bounds off the Wildcats. Clark Range will keep possession. They'll throw it in right side on the baseline. 45-25. Wildcats taking control of this one. Beatty right side threes, no good. Rebound Story for Livingston. Story now to bring it front court for the Wildcats. To Miller on the right side. To Coffee cutting the lane. Brody fall away down low, no good. Story taps it up, no good. Rebound taken away by Bird for Clark Range. Bird now will drop it off to Bush. Bush slowly across the timeline for the Buffaloes. Right side they go to Beatty. Beatty in the corner now to Swallows. His jumper's no good. That one Swallows. That was Jack Cordell. Beatty behind the back. Can't get away from Miller, though. They'll back it back out to Bush. We're halfway through the third quarter with Livingston leading 45-25, and Bilbrey has a steal. Bounce pass tried to hit Miller. It just never came off the floor high enough for Tucker Miller to get to, and the ball will get out of bounds, and the turnover going to give it back to Clark Range. Sub coming in for the Buffaloes as Jack Cordell going to sit down. Case Cordell coming back in. Inbounds goes to Bush. Bush now to bring it front court against this 2-3 zone by Livingston. We'll look at it. It might be a matchup. We'll wait and see. Miller may be playing the top of it, or it may be a 2-3. Clark Range in the corner. The 3 ball in the air is good by Brighton Swallows. Swallows knocks down his second 3, both here in the third quarter. He's got 12 points now to lead Clark Range. High post, Carwile with it. He'll turn and face up. Carwile goes right side, Miller. 3 ball by Tucker. Yes, sir. Tucker Miller knocks down the 3. He's got 8 now for the Wildcats, and they're back out by 20 as he answers that one by Swallows on the other end. Bush in the front court. Right side to Case Cordell to Swallows. About 15 feet out on the right side. He'll drive. Floater in the lane, too hard, no good. Case Cordell gets the rebound, but it's taken away by Bilbrey. Bilbrey everywhere defensively right now. Bilbrey right to the rim. Layup good. Daniel Bilbrey reversing it over his head. He's got 7 in the quarter, 15 in the game. Now to lead Livingston in scoring, and Clark Range wants a timeout. They'll take a full with 2:46 to play in the third. Livingston's extended their lead to 22 at 50-28. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors for making tonight's broadcast possible. Jerry's IGA, Physical Medicine Center of the Cumberlands, Midstate Construction, Livingston Dairy Queen, Exit Rocky Top Realty, Bullseye Security, Hall Funeral Home, Maynard's Automotive, Farmers Insurance Rick Savage, Cornicello Italian Restaurant, W&O Construction, Highway Tire, Puckett's Furniture and Appliances, Milton Rains and Family, First Church, E.B. Gray Jewelry, R&M Family Pharmacy, Overton County News, Puckett's Family Dentistry, Gary Maxwell Insurance, Scott Incorporated, Wayne's Grill, Oakley Equipment Rental, Lucky Red Stables, and Livingston Regional Hospital, our sponsors here on Overton Events. 2:46 to play in the third. The Livingston lead is 22, 50-28. As Clark Range will play it in, right side front court. Stepping out to throw in will be Case Cordell to throw in for the Buffaloes. Cordell goes inbounds to Bush. Bush now across the timeline, working the ball between the circles. Right side, Swallows. Swallows in the corner now for the 3 ball, which is no good by Beatty. Rebound taken away by Coffee. Coffee quickly in the front court to Story running left side. Story, high post they go. Carwile at the free throw line. Left corner, Coffee. Coffee will skip it now to Story. Story, right corner, Miller. Tucker spotted for 3. That one's rimming, no good. Rebound taken away by Bilbrey. He'll save it to Coffee. Coffee now will go back to Miller. Right wing 3 ball by Tucker. Got it. Tucker Miller knocks down his 3rd 3. He had 4 in the game against Whitwell. That's 7 today for Tucker Miller in a couple of games here on this Clark Range floor. He seems to like to shoot in here. Bush up top to answer, and he'll knock down the deep 3. Collier Bush answers that 3-pointer by Tucker Miller. The front court with it is Story. Story will drive, gets inside, left-hand scoop layup, no good. Wouldn't spin around on the rim for him. Rebound Bird. Case Cordell now will bring it front court. Left side Bush. Bush dribbling with the right hand, back to Case Cordell. He'll drive, pulls up the elbow. Right side Beatty. In the corner now to Swallows. Gets underneath, driving layup, good. Brighton Swallows. They overplayed a little bit after he's made a couple of 3s in the quarter. Swallows able to get to the rim on account of that. He's got 8 in the quarter, 14 in the game. Carwile to Story, now to Bilbrey. Bilbrey around Swallows, wide open layup, good. Daniel Bilbrey, as he just blew by Brighton Swallows that time, gave to the rim to lay it up. And Coach Miller wants a 30-second timeout. He'll call it with 1:18 to play in the 3rd. Livingston in complete control of this one. Wildcats have been in control all day here in Clark Range. The Lady Wildcats maybe not in complete control all day, but they come away with 2 wins over 2 very good teams. Hendersonville from down in, I guess they're in Sumner County. Yeah, they wouldn't be in Sumner County. They're somewhere down there around Beach and all that. I've done some games down there, but don't really remember where they're at. But they're a quality program under former Clark Range player Kelly Reed, and then the Clark Range Lady Buffaloes. Everybody knows what they are, so the Lady Wildcats come away with a couple of big wins. Livingston, a couple of dominant wins on this floor if they can continue the way this one's going here to close this one out. As Clark Range to throw in with Lane Bird to play the ball in the backcourt. Goes inbounds to Bush. Bush now to bring it slowly up the floor for the Buffaloes. Collier will bring it across the timeline. Livingston matching up man-to-man. Right side, Case Cordell. They're not man-to-man. They are still in that zone. Swallows in the lane. Fall away down low is no good, but a foul going to be called on Livingston. Let's see who they've got. It's going to go on Easton Goodpasture, and he'll pick up his 4th. Goodpasture picks up number 4 with 59 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, and Brighton Swallows will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. He's 0 for 2 from the free throw line. That's the one place he hadn't scored, but now he does. 9 in the quarter, 15 in the game. Leading scorer so far in the game, Daniel Bilbrey with 17. Swallows leads Clark Range. 2nd free throw, no good. Rebound taken away by Story. Story now to Miller. Miller going to keep it all the way to the rim. What have we got? A hold on Clark Range. Miller going to the line to shoot 2. Foul going to go on Case Cordell. He'll pick up his 2nd. This will put Tucker Miller on the free throw line to shoot 2. His first free throw attempts of the game. As Tucker steps up there for the Wildcats. Goodpasture staying out there with the 4 fouls. Miller, the sophomore, puts this one on the way and knocks it down. Tucker 7 in the quarter, 12 in the game for the son of the head coach of Livingston Academy, Coach Jimmy Miller. 2nd free throw away. That one's good as well. Miller with 13 here tonight. Long pass ahead to Swallows. Swallows pass deflected by Goodpasture, but knocked out of bounds by Goodpasture. Touch last by the Wildcats. It will stay with Clark Range. They'll play the ball in right side front court. As they'll try to go inbounds to Bush, but Bilbrey there to knock it away and out of bounds. Touch last by the Wildcats. It's going to stay with Clark Range. Case Cordell to throw in. Plays it in to Collier Bush. Bush now will bring it front court. Dribbling top of the key. Bush goes left side to Beatty. Back to Bush. Now Case Cordell. 30 seconds to play. There's a steal by Bilbrey. Bilbrey to the rim. Layup on the right side. No good. But we've got a foul. Do we have a goaltend? I think that came off the glass. Foul going to go on Case Cordell. He'll pick up his 3rd. They say no goaltend, but Daniel Bilbrey to the line to shoot 2. Bilbrey stepping up there with 29 seconds to play in the third quarter. Free throw by Daniel is good. Bilbrey with 10 in the quarter, 18 in the game now for Daniel Bilbrey. Dribbling the basketball there. Puts this one on the way and knocks it down. So Bilbrey with 19 now. His season high. Swallows in the backcourt for Clark-Range. Across the timeline, he'll get it to Beatty. No, that's Jack Cordell. Now to Bush. Pass taken away by Bilbrey. Bilbrey's there again. Bilbrey to the rim. Driving layup, no good. Rebound Miller back up quickly and in. Tucker Miller with the offensive rebound and put back. He's got 10 in the quarter, 15 in the game for Miller. Swallows in the front court to Bird. His three at the buzzer is no good, and we're through three complete. After three, it's Livingston 61, Clark-Range 34. Basketball belongs to Livingston to start the fourth quarter as Bilbrey will bring it front court to Story. Story holding the basketball way out near the half-court line. You talk about balance. Livingston's got Daniel Bilbrey with 19. Tucker Miller has 15. Isaac Story has 14 for the Wildcats. Three players in double figures. Good pasture at the left elbow. Backs it back out to Carwile. Carwile will drive, gets inside, kicks it back out to Bilbrey. Bilbrey works his way inside, goes right wing Miller. Step back three by Tucker is rimming, no good. Rebound taken away by Beatty for Clark-Range. Beatty quickly in the front court on the right side. Beatty works it up top to Swallows. Livingston leading 61-34. Left side, Bush. Bush now directing traffic, goes right wing Beatty. Beatty back out to Bush. Bush steps around the Swallows screen. He'll take that deep three. It's no good. Rebound, no good. Rebound, Jack Cordell. Cordell now will fall away inside. His jumper's no good. Rebound, Carwile leading a 4-on-2 break. Carwile to Miller running the floor. Layup good. Tucker Miller. Miller lays it up and in. He's got 2 in the quarter. 7. Beatty dribbling there. We'll lob it in the corner to Jack Cordell. Back to Bush. Bush dribbling there for Clark-Range. Goes left side, Swallows. Swallows works his way down low, and well, we got a charge called. We said you had to be set and waiting. Easton Goodpasture was set and waiting, and Brighton Swallows going to be called for the foul, and he's slow to get up for the Buffaloes. As they go out to check on him. Don't know if he hit an elbow or his head or what, but he is slow to get up there on the floor as Coach McElvain out there checking on him. They're going to call the players away. Range High School. Clark-Range going to get some new players onto the floor after the timeout as they'll send number 2, Justice Durham, out there. Number 4, that is Bo Ramsey checking in. Number 34 is Elijah Shaver coming in. Lane Bird will stay out there. Who's the other one they've got? They've got number 30 out there. That is Jalen Butler for Clark Range. Miller in the front court. High post they go to Goodpasture. To Miller cutting inside, and he ran into Bo Ramsey that time. Kind of took him off that cut, and it will go out of bounds on that entry pass. Livingston's going to get some young players in after Clark Range is subbed as the Buffaloes bring it front court. Right side, Ramsey. Ramsey back up top now with a drive and the pull-up jumper in the lane, which is no good by Butler, but out of bounds off Clark Range. It'll go to Livingston. Wildcats going to get Peyton Looper back on the floor. Rocco Carwile will stay out there. Tayshawn Hayes checking back in. Jake Hughes in for the first time, and Drew Goolsby in for the Wildcats to bring the ball across the timeline. Goolsby right side to Carwile. Now to Hughes. Hughes down low, tried to hit Hayes. Pass taken away. Stolen by Clark Range. Oh, they had a player wide open breaking to the rim. Didn't see him, though. Right side with it is Ramsey. Ramsey's pass taken away by Carwile. Carwile to the rim. Driving layup good. Rocco Carwile. Carwile with 2 in the quarter. He's got 4 in the game. Clark Range quickly in the front court. They'll drive. The pull-up jumper on this near side is no good by Butler. Rebound taken away by Livingston. Carwile in the front court on the dribble. Carwile backs it back out to Looper. Looper to Goolsby. He'll drive. Goolsby gets all the way to the rim, and as he goes, foul going to be called on Clark Range. It'll go on Jalen Butler. He'll pick up his first. This will put Drew Goolsby on the free throw line to shoot 2. Goolsby goes there with 5:22 to play in the fourth quarter, looking for his first point of the night. The free throw's good. Goolsby scores his first. Livingston extends the lead to 66-34. Second free throw from Goolsby. That one rolling good again. At the kind bounce on the Clark Range rim. Wildcats a bucket away from the continuous clock here in the fourth quarter. 3 ball no good by Clark Range. And on the rebound, it's going to be knocked out of bounds. Touched last by the Buffaloes, I believe. And it will go to Livingston Academy. Wildcats to play it in as Bird going to leave for Clark Range. Jack Cordell will come back in replacing him. Hughes to throw in. No, it's going to be Clark Range basketball. They signaled the wrong way. So 5:13 to play in the fourth quarter. Livingston in control, 67-34. Wildcats going to go to 3-0 in this young season. Inbounds goes to Durham. Durham on the right side. We'll cross it over. Durham in the corner now. We'll get the ball to Ramsey. Durham falling down. Going to be called for the travel. Tried to make that move. Just stumbled and fell. And the turnover by Clark Range gives it back to Livingston. Wildcats to play it in with Peyton Looper stepping out to throw in for Livingston Academy. Goes inbounds to Goolsby. Goolsby now across the timeline. Works it left side. Carwile. Carwile dribbling there at the half-court stripe. Carwile gets inside to the high post. Hands off now to Hughes driving to the rim. And Hughes, as he goes, is going to be pushed and fouled. Jake Hughes will go to the line to shoot 2 as Jack Cordell want to pick up his third. Hughes at the line for Livingston for the first time. Looking for his first points of the game. And as we said, if he hits them both, it's the continuous clock with the 35-point lead. Changed it in football to 30, but apparently at basketball it stayed 35. Free throw by Hughes is no good. Irrelevant at this time as Hughes to shoot a second. We're down to 4:51 to play in the fourth anyway as Hughes steps back up there, puts this one on the way. That one's no good. Rebound taken away by Clark Range. There to pull it is Shaver. In the front court with it, Jack Cordell. Right side they go to Ramsey. Ramsey back to Cordell. Cordell left wing to Durham. Back to Ramsey on the right side. Ramsey looks to drive, works his way down low. He's going to be blocked inside by Livingston. They didn't start the clock then. The foul going to go on Peyton Looper. He'll pick up his first. This will put Bo Ramsey on the free throw line to shoot 2. Ramsey going there with 4:31 to play in the fourth. Free throw by Ramsey is no good. He'll have a second opportunity. Stepping up there for the Buffaloes dribbling the basketball there. This one's on the way. This one's no good. Rebound coming out to Shaver. His follow blocked away by Looper, but blocked out of bounds by Livingston. It's going to stay with Clark Range. Buffaloes will play it in on the inline. Stepping out to throw in, Bo Ramsey. Ramsey underneath, breaking to the rim for the wide open layup. Ramsey, it's no good. Rebound, Hayes coming out there on the run for Livingston. Hayes double teamed on the left side. Ball knocked away and out of bounds by Ramsey. It'll go to Livingston Academy. Wildcats to play it in right at the end of their bench as they'll throw in to Carwile. Carwile on the left wing. He'll drive. Quick crossover gets him to the rim. Jumper no good. Rebound Hughes. His follow is good. Jake Hughes with his first two. That is the 35-point lead now halfway through the fourth quarter, so the continuous clock for the next 4 minutes. Ramsey has it knocked away and stolen by Goolsby. Goolsby to Carwile. Carwile will drive, and he is going to be blocked. Rebound taken away by Smith County. Bringing out there is Durham. Durham inside for the jumper, which is no good by Shaver, but a foul going to be called on Livingston. It will go on the Wildcats. Jake Hughes will pick up his first. This will put Elijah Shaver on the free throw line to shoot two. Shaver goes there for the first time. Free throws on the way and no good. He'll have a second opportunity. Stepping back up there for the Buffaloes. Shaver dribbling the basketball there. Puts this one on the way. It's no good. Rebound coming out to Hughes for Livingston. Hughes now to Goolsby. Goolsby into the front court for the Wildcats is going to be pushed and fouled by Clark Range, number 30. That is Jalen Butler picking up his second. Butler picks up number 2. This will put Goolsby on the free throw line to shoot 2 more free throws. He's 2 of 2 from the free throw line in the game. Free throw here is good. Goolsby with his third point, all here in this fourth quarter. Livingston with 70. Once again for the Wildcats. This one's on the way. This one is good again. Goolsby makes them both. Wildcats lead 71-34 as Ramsey will bring it front court. Ramsey now to Durham. His long three up top's no good. It'll get out of bounds. Oh, Clark Range tried to save it, but couldn't do so. Livingston's going to get some new players on. As coming in for the first time is number 5, Jesse Gentry checking in. Number 33, Ethan Westmoreland will check in. Number 45, Joey Stansberry comes in. And number 25, Adrian Jenkins checks in. Gentry in the front court will hand off to Stansberry, and he's going to be bumped and fouled by Durham. Justin Durham will pick up his second. This will put Joey Stansberry on the free throw line to shoot 2. Double bonus as Stansberry steps up there. His first of 2 is no good. He'll get a second here in the double bonus. Stepping back up there. This one's on the way. Rims out on him again. Rebound off the hands of Goolsby. It's loose. Clark Range will dive on it. They'll save it to Jack Cordell. Cordell in the front court for the Buffaloes on the right side. Cordell working the ball on the dribble. We're under 2 minutes to play. Cordell pull-up jumper on the right baseline is good. Jack Cordell for his 9th point of the game. Quickly in the front court, driving to the rim, layup good by Stansberry. Joey Stansberry lays it up and in for his first 2. The front court with it is the pull-up 3 by Ramsey. It's no good. Rebound Goolsby. He lost it out of bounds, though. It'll go off Livingston. It will stay with Clark Range. Buffaloes will play it in on the inline. Before they do, though, Clark Range going to take a timeout. They'll take a full timeout for some reason here with 1:28 to play in the fourth and a 73-36 Livingston lead as the timeout called by the Buffaloes. Livingston led 34-20 at halftime. They outscored them, 39-16 in the second half of the Wildcats. They lead it 73-36. First game earlier today, the Livingston boys beat Whitwell 78-43 against Clay County the other night. Let's see how many Livingston put up that night. They had 62 that night, so their season high has been 78. We've got 73 right now with 1:28 to play in the fourth quarter. It'll be Clark Range throwing in. Ramsey goes all the way in the backcourt to Cordell. Cordell now will bring it across the timeline. Cordell works it left side to number 30. That is Butler. Down low with the basketball. It's knocked away. Westmoreland will steal it, but it gets on the end line. It'll stay with Clark Range as we approach a minute to play in the fourth quarter. Clark Range to throw in. Stepping out to play the ball in. Elijah Shaver. Shaver to throw in. Breaking in the lane. His pull-up jumper is no good. Rebound tapped by Stansberry, but Ramsey will get to it. Then he loses it out of bounds. Touch last by Clark Range. Basketball will go to Livingston. Clock runs with 48 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Wildcats in no hurry, though, with the 73-36 lead. Goolsby across the timeline, behind the back. Can't shake free of Ramsey. Now to Gentry. Gentry right side, Jenkins. Jenkins, top of the key three, is bouncing, no good. Rebound tapped by Goolsby. Westmoreland will save it to Goolsby with 30 seconds. That's off the hands of Jenkins. Ball is going to be loose. Jenkins will pick it up. Jenkins will find Westmoreland at the rim. Layup good. Ethan Westmoreland gets the layup off the Adrian Jenkins assist, and the Wildcats lead it 75-36 on the first two of the game by Westmoreland. Ramsey on the right side. His three's an air ball and out of bounds. And Livingston, they won't even have to cross half court if they don't want to. The official's going to hold it long enough for them to just be able to stand there. They'll throw it in to Goolsby, and that will be your final score. It is Livingston Academy 75, Clark Range 36 as the Wildcats hold the Buffaloes to only 2 fourth-quarter points. Let's check the scoring in this one. Chris Beatty for Clark Range ends up with 6 points on the night. 2 points scored by Case Cordell. 14 in the game for Brighton Swallows. He left with an injury to his leg or ankle there late in the game. 3 points for Collier Bush. 9 points scored tonight by Jack Cordell. And 2 points in the game for Lane Bird to give them their total of 36. Now for Livingston, Rocco Carwile ends the night tonight with 4 points. 2 points in the game for Jake Hughes. 4 points scored tonight by Brody Coffey. 19 in the game for Daniel Bilbrey. Ends up with 19 on the night. 17 scored tonight by Tucker Miller. 2 in the game for Tayshawn Hayes. 5 points scored tonight by Easton Goodpasture. 2 in the game for Ethan Westmoreland. 14 points scored tonight by Isaac Story. 2 in the game for Joey Stansberry. And 4 points scored tonight by Drew Goolsby to give Livingston their